Hello, this is Marlena Macala. This is our number 104, Zoom number 104. Let me get Mike to get in here and make him a co-host. So, let me see. Okay, Mike, I'm looking for you real quick. Um, there you go. So did you send a reminder, Mike?
Yes po, but on our GC and Facebook page po.
Okay, thank you. I will send them an email right now. So while you're getting people to come in. Anyway, I just forgot that it was the 9th. I thought we met last week. I guess I'm just so confused because I've been so busy. Lots of people. Let me see. So I'm gonna let them everybody in so I could remind everyone.
I also double check po in my calendar and also in your email because
Yeah.
I keep on inviting other new applicants po or new teachers who are invited to apply in the USA.
Mm-hmm. Can you introduce yourself, Mike, while I'm getting
Sure po.
everybody by email?
Okay, good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Roca. I am a special education teacher in Brinkley School District. This is my third year in the USA as a special education teacher. So thank you for attending our regular Zoom meeting. We are here to help you apply in the USA, have any idea or the process on how to apply as a special education teacher or and uh,
Any teacher.
international teacher. Sorry, not only special education teacher but all subject teachers.
Yep. Well, thank you, Mike. Can you share some things about the US that you want to share with everyone? Because I'm still in the middle of inviting everyone here. Yes.
Yes, so it's the educational system here in the USA that can be not compared, but of course, as a cultural exchange teacher, like a J1 visa and H1B visa. So you will see the difference between the educational system in the Philippines and in the USA. But the common point is our strategies on how we're going to um, teach those students and make them learn using what we have learned in our bachelor's degree, master's degree, and even doctorate degree. And of course, we are the most of the students here, most teachers are excited. The teachers, Filipino teachers or international teachers are sharing their culture with their community. And what else?
Yeah, I think that's what it is that the J1 visa is all about intercultural exchange. That's why you're learning about the American culture, while at the same time you're teaching others about your own culture, may it be Filipino culture or African culture or any other. So anyway, I apologize for a little late today. For some reason I just thought that it's next Saturday that we meet next Saturday. Mike was so nice to call me and reminded me. Well, anyway, Mike, so you want to call? I think Debbie's here already. So Debbie's always
Yes.
one of our regulars. Debbie, you have anything to share? Any good news or anything?
Good
What's going on with you?
morning.
Huh?
Good morning, doctor. Nothing so far, doctor.
So you
Thank
said
you
you
so
you
much.
you you applying? I mean, you're teaching summer school or no?
I did not teach summer school, doctor, and our school year will start on the 19th,
Oh, the
doctor.
19th. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
doctor.
Here, I think Mike's school, you officially started for teachers, right, Mike, but not the students.
Yes, po.
Am
Last
I?
Monday, and then on Monday, the students will start.
Yeah, most
officially.
yeah. See, in the past, it's always been, and I think still is common for American schools to open like right after Labor Day. But for some reason,
Yes.
Arkansas is getting earlier and earlier, and maybe that's why we also get out earlier than other states. We usually are done by May. Some other states do not get done till June. So when is usually your last day of school in California, Deb? Do you know?
The last one, doctor, was June 11. So this one, I have a calendar June 12, June
Oh yeah.
12.
See, that's what it is because you
Mm.
also start late. See, in Arkansas before, it used to be like the 19th usually was the common time, but now it's getting to be a week earlier. And see, what most schools do here in the US is to, well, especially in our culture, in our climate here, is that they would load about 1 week worth of snow days. So you don't have to worry about that in California, Debbie. But here
Mhm.
they do, so that if they don't use it, they would make their last day of school to be 1 week earlier if they didn't use any of their week of snow days. In other places where it snows a lot, they actually would add more, or they would do Saturday classes in order to make up, in order for them to come up with an earlier day. Because in the US, it's like I think 180 or 190 days, something between
190
180
days
and
pa.
90 days, yeah, that you have to have a student teacher interaction. And so that's required. So different schools then in different parts of the US would just, as long as you meet those number of days, they get creative about when. And some schools like Arkansas have always, I think, Mike, Arkansas, we have different starting days because some people that are year-round
Yes
school
pa. Yes pa.
started in July,
Like
didn't they?
Lee County where
Mhm.
who is this? Gurley
Abby.
and Ma'am Mirna, they
Oh
already
yeah.
started.
Uh-huh.
And then Helena and Brinkley will start on Monday. Barton will start on 18th. The students will start on 18th.
The 18th.
So we're just
Oh,
neighboring schools.
yeah, they're next door, really, pretty much. But then they are
Yes.
doing different ones. But the year-round school. It's interesting. They start in July, but then they have, which means they have shorter summer, but they have like a week of school like fall break and all these other breaks that they have that the normal schools don't have, regular, I guess traditional schools don't have. So they'll have this extra breaks in the middle of the year. I think I could see the point because according to research, is that we have that called summer loss, which is like the kids have to pretty much start over in the fall because they lose that, close to 3 months worth of learning. And so they feel like, well, if we make it shorter, then maybe the summer loss will not be too great. And that they will, it may easier for them to remember, what they knew instead of starting over completely because of the 2.5 month or 3 months break. So there's a point for both. Also, some schools here in Arkansas are doing 4 day school, and that's where my sister Milet is teaching. She is teaching at a school where they don't have Friday. They have a break on Friday, so they have a 3 day weekend every week, but they go an hour extra a day. So instead of like getting off about 3 o'clock, they get off like 4:30 or 3:30 to 4:30. So they have an extra hour. So they make that up then by doing that extra hour and a half, and then they would not have any school. Some people would opt for, like, I think one neighboring school here, they're off on Monday. So they will have still a 3 day weekend, but on one end. So, but I think the governor here in Arkansas, if I remember that correctly, that she wants that to stop. But I do not know if it's been, do you know, Mike, if it's been approved that it has to be back to traditional schedule now? Do you know?
I don't have any useful or idea about that.
Maybe next
We
year.
didn't hear about it.
Yeah, not this year. It seems like people are still using that because I know for a fact my sister still does 40 day school. But I know they're trying to make sure everybody gets back to traditional. I kind of like the creative way of how schools do it because research were made about the 4 day school that they thought like some bigger districts, they could actually save money because they don't have to have buses run 5 days. They only have 4 days, and then maybe the electricity and so on. But then in some smaller communities, like my community where I live, I talked to the administrators, why did you not follow some of our neighbors that are doing 4 day school? And they said, well, we looked at that and we just do not have enough daycare services in our town to cover those, the day, your fifth day that you do not open. We don't have enough in the community to babysit all these kids. So that's what their excuse was. I do not know. I mean, I could see the point really in both directions as anything. I know that I think Las Vegas, if I'm correct, Las Vegas may do year-round school, or they did. I don't know if they still do, but I know they used to. So anyway, those are different educational trends that happen at schools, and same day as the attendance. But the other point is like grading, for example. Some countries like Australia, they do like standard based grading now. They just do not do like they do like more of a check mark, like did you do the skills, and instead of like a letter grade, they more of like just kind of did you meet it or not meet it. And I don't know, teachers, I could see parents here in America to always be looking for like, oh, what does that mean? Is this an A? Is this a B? So they're gonna want those grades on letter grades. So I don't know. I guess we need to do what Singapore does, because they beat, they're usually number one in education in the world. Singapore. So I don't know what the new ranking, but in the past they've always been, if not the top one, the top five in the top five. So the Western culture, the countries in the Western parts of the world are wondering, what's the Asian country like Singapore? What are they doing differently? What's very effective, especially math? What are they doing that's really effective for problem solving and math computation and so on? Why are they doing so well? And I think that's still a dilemma, you know, that's still a dilemma for huge countries like ours. Why are we being beaten by small countries? But that happens. It's a challenge, but that needs to be met. So anyway, we got to that topic, which is a good topic. So Mike, what did you say? You have invited some folks to attend?
Yes po, Doc. It's Sir Eduardo,
Eduardo
and I don't
Garcia.
know if Ma'am Amy is one of my classmates.
Okay, yeah, let's call on them. I know, Debbie, do you have anything else to say before we call in one? Mike will call one of them. Okay, Mike, just call one of them then. Which one do you want to talk first?
Sir Eduardo, are you ready to introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself, your educational background, what subject you're teaching, your philosophy in education, or yeah, why do you want to apply in the USA? Though you're ready, only something about your plans in applying in the USA.
Yes, that would be cool. Yep, Eduardo.
Hello.
Yep, your name
Hello.
sounds familiar to me, Eduardo. Have we talked to you
Oh,
before?
really? No, I think no.
Well, well, you're
Maybe I have a lot of my name
common.
is very common. Yeah.
Well, you look like a very happy teacher. That's a good thing. You're
Yeah.
smiling big. That's cool. Yeah. So what is
Anyway, my name is Eduardo Garcia Jr. Currently, I am a master teacher here in the Philippines.
okay?
Um, I finished my bachelor degree business education in Polytechnic University in of the Philippines, and I took my master's degree in business education also in PUP. However, at this point in time, I'm currently enrolled in the PhD major in SPED because I'm
Congratulations.
planning to work. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. How long is your program there? Is it 2, 3 years? How long?
I think it's 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your program there like you already, when you get done, you already will have your thesis written as part of the courses, or is that totally different? Like, is it embedded? I guess what I'm asking, is it embedded with your courses, or is that a totally different deal for the thesis and
Uh,
dissertation?
in my master's degree, it's actually related to my program.
Mhm.
So
But
it's all about uh business,
okay.
financial literacy, something like that.
Right, but so what I'm thinking was in my program for when I got my doctorate degree at Arkansas State, it wasn't embedded, which means that after our 2 years course, then we are on our own to do our dissertation. It's not like a part of the whole process. Like, some universities would be like, by the time you get done with your courses, then your dissertation is already kind of being finished. It's a totally different, like they say you have like 3 years to do your dissertation, and if you don't, then you have to take more classes. So I don't know how the Philippines does it, but I know in America, most programs are like you take your classes, and then if you are very organized, you actually will be already writing your thesis or dissertation at that time. I have in my cohort of 14 or 13 people, only one was that organized. Like, she graduated the next semester. It took me 2 years. Yeah, it took me 2 years to get mine after the courses, because I could not get the study, I mean the data that I needed from the Department of Education. They did not send it. I had to pretty much had to really, you know, pretty much told them that in behalf of the university, I might have to sue you guys in the legal department, because I really need those data. And so once I said that, then they gave it to me. But I waited like a year and a half. So so that's what I'm asking. Is it embedded? Yeah. Well, congratulations though. That's a very hard program. It's not like an easy thing. And people, some people do not stick with it. So I hope you do stick with it and finish it. Yeah, because there is a need for folks to do higher, education. I did my research on national board, the impact of teachers with national board certification or with higher degree. And I found that the ones with the higher degree were more impactful than national board. But if you have more, or both of them, then you are more impactful than any, because, and especially on kids in poverty. So I did that with the 11th grade students in Arkansas. So you need to be thinking, and this is what I always would advise the students that are in PhD classes, to start thinking about your topic already, and do something that's you're passionate about. Like, I've always been passionate about national board, so that's why I decided to do that in that area, because I knew a lot about it. And that's why when you go into a topic that you really, really, really want to know more about and become more of an expert in that field, then that's the topic you will choose. Because yeah, do you have any passion about education that you want to know more about? Is there a topic?
Yeah, right now since I'm enrolled in PhD major in SPED, I would like to focus more on the study about inclusive education, especially here in the Philippines,
Okay.
because
Okay.
we actually have a big problem in terms of inclusive education here in the Philippines.
Okay. So what area are you planning to find out? Like, what's your question, I guess? What's your research question?
Mostly uh the strategy on how effectively our teachers in the public school, uh, how they handle those students who are part of special education.
So what kind, are you comparing it against something, or what kind of, I guess I am thinking about the
I
qualitative
think
or quantitative data.
I want to make, or from my after getting the result of my study, I want to establish a guidelines on or give what we call recommendation to the Department of Education on how the public school teachers should handle special education students in public school.
But how do you
So
measure that? What kind of data will you use? How do you measure how effective they are? What kind of data will you use?
maybe I have to look for uh I have to look for a tools or sorry, some I have to look for a good and effective schools to implement uh good way on how to handle special education. Yun. So I think I will use those standard, then create a questionnaires or um create some create questionnaires that is aligned to the school who are implementing something good.
So you have to kind of design more of an instrument or a tool is, I guess
Yeah.
observational tool of some kind. But you have to remember that you will need a triangulation of data, which means that you're gonna have to have at least three types of data. So interview or questionnaire data would be one. So you're gonna need two more. Yeah. So that's something down the line that you will learn. But it's just that for those that are beginning, it's already good to already be thinking about the end, with the end in mind. So if you're thinking about that while you're taking your classes, be looking at, how can I get the three types of data I need? So you can either do a qualitative data, which you really need your three types of data there, which is really long because usually if you have qualitative, so if you have an interview data, then you're going to have the transcripts of those interviews. So that makes it really, really long. But if you do quantitative data, which means numbers, that's when your book will not be as long. Mine was only like 100 something pages, very short, because I did a quantitative data, numbers. I didn't do any interviews. I didn't do any of those anecdotal data. So that's something to be thinking about. Do I need a quantitative or qualitative data? So anyway, so that's something that, be thinking about. But anyway, we got deep into it now already.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you said master teacher, you may want to define for the American administrators what master teacher means in the Philippines. Okay, so you might want to explain like master teacher means this. So how would you explain master teacher?
Actually, here in the Philippines, master teacher, they are the one who are responsible in coaching and mentoring the teachers.
Okay, so does that mean you have had some leadership
Yeah.
experiences? Okay, so in the form of what? Like how do they know which teacher becomes master teacher? Do you have certain checklists that you have to follow or certain number of credits? How do they determine which one can be promoted as master teacher one, two, whatever? How do you do that? Do they have a little
Uh,
checklist of those?
yeah. They have specific requirements for you to be able to apply for the position of a master teacher. Um, First being years of experience,
Okay. How many
five,
years do they want?
5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's
Then
what you could say. You could say a master teacher means that you have at least 5 years of experience and then you tell them what else that they would look for. Because when I hear master teacher, it's pretty generic for me. I need to know what that means. Okay, because we don't have that here. Master teacher in the US would be like usually they call the national board certified teachers. They call them master teachers here. And which means like national board means, and I'm national board certified teacher. That means you actually pretty much went to a different big hard test in order to get that designation. So that's something that you want to, you could say that it's similar to a national board certified teacher. If you say that, then they know what that means. Okay. So that's because that would be anybody that would introduce themselves and would say, I'm a master teacher. Make sure that you say something about master teacher would be kind of similar to national board certification in the US. That would be a simpler way to do that. Okay. Because national board, we have to have at least three 3 or 5 years. You have 5 years of experience in the field you're getting your certification in, and then we have to send videos and we have to send student work and all that. There's a lot of things that they want us to do, and then they grade them, you know. So there's like 10 areas that we have to do, 4 portfolios, and then so 2 videos, and then two things with student products, and then 6 tests, 6 different. So
Oh,
that's 10
a lot of
areas.
tests.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 areas that we had to do to pass it. So it's not just given out. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. So anyway, so what now? Why did you say you want to come to the US for? What is your intention?
Actually, I'm planning to work in US. That's why I enrolled
Wh-
now I enrolled in my PhD major in SPED.
Okay.
Yeah,
But why did you want to come though? Why did you want to teach here?
SPED,
To teach
special
there.
education. Yeah,
Okay.
but also here in the Philippines, I teach business education.
Okay. So you're teaching business education, but you didn't have to come to the US to teach special ed though. So are there other things you want to learn about the culture, about the country? What other things do you want to know? Why you want to come here? Do you have something like that where why do you want to come of all the places in the world, why the US? I guess is what they're gonna find out.
Maybe because for greener ano ba? Why US? First, hindi pa ako nakapunta sa US.
Because I have not been there, okay? Yeah, because I've not been there and I would
Yeah,
love to
and
explore, okay?
yeah, and of course I love to explore United States.
Um,
Then I actually love to travel. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point right there. Like I enjoy traveling and I know there are 50 states to explore in the US. That's something you could say. And they might ask you a follow-up like, okay, which states do you want to travel in? So be ready for that. What states are you thinking that, oh, I want to go see that? Like when I was in the Philippines, I always thought I want to go see New York, Florida,
Yeah,
California, the big places. And so I've visited those now, but I think Mike has already surpassed me for my number of years because Mike's a big
yeah,
traveler with his
he's a good
family. Yeah.
traveler.
Yeah. So you can do that. You can explore. Just make sure that if you're going to be in the J1 visa, Eduardo, make sure that you don't say things like, I want to live here for good, because that is not the intention of J1 visa. J1 visa is a 5-year visa, and for you to learn like an exchange teacher. Okay, so you learn as much as you can, and then you go back to the Philippines for 2 years and teach them what you learned. So it's a 5-year program. It's not a forever program here, like a path to citizenship. Now, H-1B visa is totally different. That's actually a path to green card. So that's a more of a permanent thing. But for J-1 visa, they should never hear from a teacher saying that they want to live here for good, because that is not the intention of the program. Okay, so you will fail at the interview if you're saying, "Oh, yeah, I love the U.S. because it's beautiful. I want to live there for good." Oh, you're gonna be disapproved, because obviously you are not. Your intention is not to learn and go back to the country, but really just to be a TNT or something. To tago to go beyond what you're supposed to do. And so anyway, so J1 visa pretty much like more of a 5-year here back in the Philippines, and then you can go another 5 years. You can do that 5-2 process, 5-2-year process as much as you want. But they really want you to go back and teach what you've learned. Some people would like not go to the Philippines. They might go to another country, exit from the US, and then they go to, a neighboring country in Asia or somewhere else. But I do not know if that is a problem, because you're supposed to teach what you learn from the US to you back to your country. So I don't know if that is going to be an issue. I really don't know. But I know that some folks are doing that. They would say, I did my 5 years in the US. Now I am in, Australia or in New Zealand or something like that, or Japan. So I do not know how that works when you get interviewed again because you want to come back here. They may ask you, why did you not go back to your country? You did 5 years in the US, and then instead of teaching the Filipino students about what you learned in the U, why did you go and taught Australian students or Japanese students? So I guess they'll have to just have an answer for that, because students are students, right? They don't have to be, I guess, from our country, but I do not know how that really works. So anyway, you have any question for us, for Mike, for Debbie, wherever here are? Do you have any specific question? Like, what do you not understand about the process?
Actually, I have a partner who are applying for H1B visa.
Okay.
So yeah.
When you say partner, is that like your teaching
So
partner?
nurse, a nurse. My partner is a nurse.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So you do. Um,
H4. I will have
you'll
H4.
be H4. So you married, you already married? You're not
Yeah.
married. You're married
Yeah.
already. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're married, you need to just say spouse.
Spouse. Yeah.
Because because yeah, you won't be unless you're a spouse of somebody that's an H1B visa holder, then you won't be able to get that if you're just like seeing that person. So I would say spouse. It could be a male or female, just your spouse. So because when you say partner, a lot of times they would just say teaching partner. Which one is it, So yeah.
It's
So
general.
definitely, yeah. But the thing with you have to be aware of, Eduardo, is that if you come in here as an H4, you will not be able to work as a teacher immediately. You'll have to wait until you get your green card through the H1B person before you can even work. Mike, can you tell him more about this? Because I know you're experiencing this with Mabel. His wife Mabel is an H4. Mike is H1B. So Mike, can you tell them like how long is the process, Mike, for the H4 to be able to work?
Yes po, Doc. Once the application or the what they call this, the I-140 was approved, they
Mm-hmm.
can start applying for the EAD.
EAD, which is
That's the only time that they can.
yeah,
Yes po.
employment authorization
Even
document.
yes po. Even they don't have yet the green card. As long as the I-140 was approved, they can start applying for EAD and start working.
It has to be approved, it has to be submitted.
Approved, Doc.
Approved. Okay. So is yours approved already?
Not yet po, Doc.
Okay. You're
We're
waiting
still
for
waiting
the
for
approval.
the new LCA.
Okay. Yeah. And that's been sent when, Mike? The LCA.
Last May po, May
Hmm.
2025,
Who
yes.
did that? The former principal or Dr. Poole?
Yeah, Dr. Pool and Mr. Salisbury.
Okay. Well, you need to, I don't know. Um, we need to have access to that, Mike. Somebody, because he's already left your district. I hope Dr. Poole has access to that. Usually it's done through your Department of Labor, whoever's in charge of your Department of Labor, usually your HR person. That's the one that's in charge of that because it's gonna be under their flag, under their Department of Labor account. So somebody
Yes,
needs to go check on that, Mike, because they can
yes,
check on the status on that. Did anybody check on the status yet? You can check it
yes.
online.
Last week, I guess Wednesday, I
Uh-huh.
check it in. The status is still on process.
Mm.
Yes, po.
I wonder because remembered our experience with one of the schools that eventually rescinded it. That did they ever approve that or did they approve it later? I don't remember what happened there, Mike. Do you remember?
Mhm. Yeah.
The West Memphis bunch, did they ever approve it, the LCA later? It just took forever.
Yes, po. They approve it. I think after 1 year, after a year, after 1 year
Few
and a
months,
half.
right? Close to a year. Usually LCA
Yeah.
approve within 2 to 3 months, but for some reason that one really took a long time. So,
Actually, when based on what I've read po, it's only 10 to 15 days or 7 to 10 days, business days.
right, but it's been May. So I'm concerned about you guys. This is
Yes
already
po.
three
I think
months.
there's a lot of backlogs. That's what I've watched in some of the videos in TikTok, and also that's what I've read also doc in Google. I'm searching for it.
You need to call
There's a
them.
lot
You,
of
you need to call or email email their help support place there, Mike. Find out their help, their contact information for their support. There's either a chat support or there is an email or a phone support. You might want to make on yourself a note to kind of be proactive about it. You need to contact them, send them an email. That way you could really have a paper trail to show that you really did try to follow up and what kind of responses you have. So if I were you, Mike, I would be proactive and try to contact them like, weekly or something, and then document
Yes.
it. Have a file or a folder for all your, communication with them or no communication with them. At least they see that you have reached out, you know. So yeah, have a paper trail on it. So anyway, so that sometimes there are some backlogs, and there's beautiful cat over there, Mike. That's the cat I
This
gave
is
you.
your cat stuff.
I gave them a couple of cats, and now they're so big and beautiful. So they were babies, they were kittens when I gave it to them when they came to my house. But anyway, so Eduardo, that was nice conversation. Thank you so much. Again, I think you will have a very good interview because you have such a happy and very seems to be a growth mindset, positive outlook. And that goes a long, long way, smiling and, being open, I guess is what I could see. So Debbie, what do you think? Do you agree with me that he seems to like have this personality of like, yeah, I'm open, I'm
Yeah,
open to
definitely,
learning. Huh?
definitely. Yeah, definitely, doctor.
Yeah.
Definitely. Very, very, the aura is very
Positive
positive.
vibe, right? Yeah, positive vibe. Yeah, that's a good one. So keep it up, okay, Eduardo, and be sure that if you ever get interviewed, www.schoolspring.com. I don't know if you have sent me your resume at mccullomarlena@gmail, but you can go directly to www.schoolspring.com, and then you could apply directly. Or you can pick a state that you want. And then once you pick the state, for example, California. So if you know California and you say, okay, I want to be in the Los Angeles area. So find out the schools in Los Angeles. You can Google those things, and then you can say the top 10 or top 20 schools in whatever Los Angeles, California. And they will give you a list, and then go to those websites and apply directly. So that's what you need to do, is apply directly. Okay, so once you get the
Okay.
interview, the first thing you need to do is study their website. Make sure that you know their mission, their vision, what do they believe in, and then how big are they? So a lot of time they would say their population, student population, and then the community, that town. Find out what's going on there. Is there some kind of famous landmark there, possibly? There's something that people always come to visit. Because those things that if they show in your answers that you've actually done your research about their place, about their school, it's impressive. Okay. And look at their,
Definitely.
yeah, look at their handbook. There's always a handbook uploaded on their website, a handbook for students, handbook for teachers, handbook for parents. The handbook for teachers would be really great about discipline. You want to know how they do their discipline. What's their discipline policy? Sometimes I also included will be their technology, you know, what's their deal about technology? Do they have a technology plan, I guess? What are devices are allowed? What happens if they bring their phone and they're not supposed to, and all that? So little things like that. And some schools would also say something about um, zero tolerance. Some of the things that are, yeah, immediate suspension, immediate whatever, like drugs and bringing guns or bringing weapons. Those are like immediate, expulsion or immediate suspension, whatever, whatever it is that they have that's really, you do not do that, or this is gonna happen. Okay. So from the serious level 1, from the serious level 3 or whatever, mark to like is simple ones too. Very common way is like the first offense may be a verbal warning. Second offense may be name on the board, or something that they would be um some of them would even go call the parents already, or call the so involve the parents, or sometimes it could go through counselor first, and then parents. And then if they still continue the offense, then you go call, the office, the principal. Usually they always say the principal should be your last resort. You need to show that you have done different ways to contact the parents. I've emailed, I have texted, and I sent all these ways to communicate with the parents, and then this child still continues the behavior. And a lot of schools also have their ISS, which means in school support, in school. Is that right? In school suspension. In school suspension is ISS. And ISS means that they just go to the special room and there's a teacher, they're usually a strict one, a really strict one. And then their ISS teacher will be there and they will have to be really quiet, no talking, and they'll just go there to work. It's like a little prison in school because they're like really so strict. Yeah, yeah. Your meanest teacher, or not mean, but the firmest teacher you have in your school, you want that person to be your ISS teacher. You don't want a friendly. Like I will not make a good ISS teacher. Too friendly. Debbie might not be either. But anyway, Mike, I don't know, he's too friendly too. But anyway, the ones that
Yeah.
are just really like, like they won't be smiling to students because you want the students to feel the pain. Like, this is not, you're not having fun here, buddy. You're here to work. You mean business. Okay. So that's ISS. And so those students that are like, from my experience, I was a former assistant principal and curriculum director. So when I was assistant principal, I did not want to spank children. There are 9 states in the United States that still spank children. One of the states, Arkansas. And so I always believed, because I was a child that was really overly spanked by our father. Our dad was so mean, bless his soul, he's already gone. But anyway, but he was so like extreme on his punishment that so when I became a teacher, became administrator, I did not want to do that to students. And as Filipino teachers, as international teachers, I don't think that's advisable for us, even though you might teach in a state where they call that corporal punishment, where they spank children. I would not recommend it for you guys because what if, you spank, you have this usually a paddle, and then you spank them and then they would have a mark and the parents would take a picture of it and they would sue you. You could lose your license. And you may have, if you lose and all that, you may have to register as a sex offender. And it's just your life. That's like, it's not worth it to go to school to all this time. And then that's one incident happen and you have a parent that will be mad at you and would sue you. And if they win, then you could lose everything in life. You won't have your career anymore. So that's not worth it to me. And I already told, when I interviewed for that job, I said, I know that is part of the job, but I just want you to know that I'm not doing it. But there's an ISS, and I was not the only assistant principal. There's some other assistant principals there. They're willing to do that. I'm not. I was not going to tell students that or other teachers that, but I was telling my bosses to be that if you hire me, I just want you to know I'm not doing that. I would do ISS, I would do suspension for 3 days or whatever other punishment, and some parents will get so mad about, I can't believe my child did not behave in school. So they want, can I go over there and spank my child? And I'm like, well, ma'am, you really need to take care of this at home. You do not need to come to school to do that because that, they are so mad that they want to do that. And don't say yes to that one. No. No, we never said, like, you take whatever you do at home, ma'am, it's your business, but I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, because they're ready to come there to school and take care of it themselves because most of the home's rules are if you get in trouble at school, you get trouble at home too. And so I kind of was like that kind of parent, like you better not be in trouble at school because you will come home, you're going to get in trouble with mama too. So anyway, I was a disciplinarian, but I didn't beat up on my children, but talking is always effective, So anyway, so that's you go into that. So you go into their policy. If you look at their board agenda report, which is the monthly meeting for the school board, that's also a good idea to see the picture of the whole school because monthly they meet and all the topics there are mentioned. So you can see like somebody got suspended, how many people got expelled, those things like that will give you a picture of the school. Like if you have a lot of expulsion, that might be a red flag. Okay, that school may be having lots of problems with discipline or might be a violent area or something. So you might those are things that would give you a hint about what school are you getting into. Okay. And if you look at the picture in their website, that also tells you the diversity of the student population. So if you see a lot of the, Caucasian students or, African American students or Asian students, then you can tell that, okay, so these are the representation of the racial diversity, in that school. So that's also another hint for you, another data for you, that this is what you're dealing with. And, your schools would hire teachers that look like their students. So if you see a lot of Asian and you're Asian, it's like, oh, okay, they may hire you because they needed some people that look like their students. Okay. So that's something that you could also be thinking about. And also know yourself. Are you a big city person or are you a province person, a small, I'd rather be in a small place kind of type thing. You need to be aware of that because if you're gonna be a city folk that you really wanted to live in a city and then you are being put in the province and out in the country, you may be miserable, because you want to be right in the middle of everything. But you have to remember that you live in the city in the US, it's much more expensive than the country. I live in the country. And so the rent here, house is maybe $500, and that's like a 3-bedroom already. But in Little Rock, where it's the capital is, it could be 1,500 times 3. Okay, a month, 1,500 a month, rent. That's just the rent. So you have to pay for your food and so on. Now remember, you are really after, and the salary is actually also posted in their website. So that's, when they ask you in your interview, do you have a question for us? You should never say, what's your pay? That just tell them that you did not do your homework because the salary schedule is posted in their website because that's required. Okay, it's required for every state, for every school to publish their information on the salary schedule. So the salary schedule will have certified, which is the teachers and principals, and then the classified, which are their, the cooks and janitors and so on. So you look for the certified salary schedule, and then it tells you a table of like, 0 experience, 1 year, 2 years, and so on. And then they will say, okay, if you have a bachelor, this is how much you make. If you have a master's, this is how much you make. And then some of them would do a specialist column and then a doctorate column. So with me having my doctorate, I would look for the number of years, and usually the maximum is 20 years usually, or 22 years, something like that. So you go to the very end because I have more than 30 years now. So I go to the end and then I go across to the doctorate thing, and that's where I would make the corner. So that's kind of what you do. But some schools would also say, well, we'll only honor like 10 years of another schools. We do not honor the whole thing. So even if you have 20 years in the Philippines, they may only give you credit for like 10 years. So you're actually just doing 10 to start at 10 years instead of like honoring the 20 years. So different schools have different policy on that. So, but at least that will give you an idea. In Arkansas, we start at 50,000. That is a law. We start at 3 million pesos is what it is. That's for 9 months of work. You start in August and you end in May. So that's what it is in Arkansas. But Arkansas is maybe in the 40th out of the 50. So we're one of the lowest paying states, but we are also one of the cheapest. So Mississippi, Arkansas, we're one of the, actually Arkansas is the cheapest. The last time I looked, followed by Mississippi. So that means that our rent and all the different things that we pay here are cheaper than the other states like California, Florida, Texas, all that. They are cheaper here. Okay, so those are considerations that you have to remember, that it's not really about what you get paid. It's really what's left after you pay for your utilities, for your rent. You're gonna have to pay for your cable and all these things, plus insurance. You have to come up with that and add it up how much it will be. And then I was thinking like $500 would be a thing for food. I was thinking maybe even 100 a week possibly. Depends on if you go out a lot, it's gonna be more. Like if you some people that live in the city, like my sister in Dallas, they like to order out a lot, like Uber Eats here. Well, they deliver, so that gets expensive because they would deliver it to your place, convenient, but you have to pay for the tip, and all that. So it gets expensive, but sometimes because there's only 2 of them, it's actually cheaper to do that for them because especially they're busy. that it instead of like trying to cook it themselves because there's only two of them. But yeah, so those are some consideration that you have to do, especially if you're bringing your family. Like Mike has two kids. So when Mike budgets, he'll have to be for four. Yeah, compared to you if you come by yourself and then you have three other roommates, the other teacher roommates, and then you divide everything by four, which is really good because even if you pay an apartment or a big house for $2,000 or 500 a piece, still better than 1,500. My son, Jet, 26, is a computer specialist, and he was living in an apartment that was $1,500 a month by himself. And this is about 3 hours from me in the northwest part of Arkansas, which is by Oklahoma. And so lately, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, he moved in with his friends, college friends that are now working. So they decided they were gonna, they were roommates in college. Now they're gonna be they're rooming again as adults. So I don't know how that will work out, but he said, Mom, it's just pretty wasteful that I'm by myself in this apartment and nobody's sharing the space and I'm paying too much and I'm gone a lot because he travels all over the United States for his job. So a lot of time his apartment is empty. And so now, at least with his roommates, then, somebody's still using the space, even when he is out of I think this week he's going to be in Pennsylvania. So anyway, yeah. So those are some things that are advantages of also coming to days you mentioned about travel. That's something you can do in a weekend. So if you are teaching, what's your favorite state, Eduardo? Did they lose him? Eduardo, what's your favorite state to travel? Or what were you thinking?
New York, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Rochester, New York.
Okay, so if you want New York, that's one of the most expensive places to rent. Think about you rent maybe $2,500, $3,000 a month. Okay, you're paying $100 a day rent. So you better make
That's
a lot of money. Yeah, $100 a day. So that's
every
5,000
dollar.
5,000 pesos a day. That's just to go for your housing. So,
Oh, awesome.
so be careful about that because I know New York is wonderful and so on, but that little space that you will rent for $2,500, $3,000, and it's hard to find in New York City. But of course, there's other places too that's like more of the farming parts of New York, like where people are actually farming. That's I don't remember what parts of that New York, but anyway, but if you leave like you don't go Manhattan or other, in right in the middle of New York City, then it might be cheaper. But just know
Yeah,
it's one of the most expensive states in the US. Okay.
if I remember, my partner will work in upper state in New York. Yeah,
Okay.
Rochester.
Rochester. Okay.
You get
That's
more
gonna be
people
good.
there.
Okay. It's cheaper there, not Manhattan. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so that's cool. Well, good luck to you, and I just hope that you do. Did you say there's already an H-1B visa approved or being applied right now?
Not yet on process. Waiting for approval.
Waiting for approval. Okay, so sounds like a good thing though that somebody's already sponsoring. So that's cool. So you may be here before we know it. Make sure that when you come here, join us again and tell us that you're here. Okay? Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I love it. I love it when teachers get here and they would show us their apartment and all that. That was really cool. I
Uh,
kind of see. I've missed the West Memphis bunch over here, Erwin and them, they showed us their apartments and so on. So anyway, so Debbie, do you live in an apartment or do you live in a house in California?
We live in a house, doctor.
You live in a house, yeah. So here when you come and live in a house, you need to make sure maybe you have some roommates because houses would be expensive, right? Yeah. The advantage with
Yes.
houses is that it's so it's your own building right there. You don't have to share, the building with others. So to me, it's a safety thing too. Like if there's a fire of your neighbors, the whole building's gonna be on fire. Well, you just have to be careful on your own in a house, and that to me is a safer thing. And the disadvantage would be the mowing of the lawn and so on. You have to either, do it yourself or pay somebody to do it. Like ours here is like close to 6 acres, so like with 3 hectares worth of land in around our house. So it's like a big thing to mow. So my husband would do 30 minutes at a time. We start joking like, oh, like Forrest Gump, he's always mowing. He would say, okay, I'm gonna mow now. But he loves doing it, so it's okay. But you have to be, yeah, there's some pros and cons like anything, houses or apartments. So you just kind of have to go with what you like. Some people hate mowing. So they said, no, I would never live in a house where I have to mow. But like in some subdivision, like where my sister lives, they actually have some like a mower service that would actually do the whole, community and so on, and they just pay every month. So they have things like that as well. So I figure New York would have places like that. So yeah, that's exciting though, that New York. All right. So Mike, who's next? Thank you again, Eduardo. Nice talking to you.
Okay
Thank you,
po.
Ben.
Actually, Doc, I invited one of my classmates also again,
Okay. Who is it?
Ma'am Joy. But Ma'am
Okay.
Joy is already here in the USA, and
Mm,
I told her just to share something about um
experiences. Yeah.
experiences here in the USA because we invited some of our classmates here in our
Cool.
Zoom.
Cool, cool, cool. I would love to hear where you are. Tell us where you are in the States, and then tell us some things that shocked you. I'd love to hear that, things that like, oh, I thought it was this way and then it's not. You know? Like what shocked me was
Yes,
like, I thought I was gonna come here and I see all these skyscrapers and there was nothing because I live in a small town. Yeah, that shocked me.
yes, Ma'am Joy. Ma'am Joy.
Joy. Where's Joy?
Ay, where,
Hello, Ma'am Joy.
Yeah.
ano pa to?
All right, Joy.
Yes.
Turn on your camera if you don't mind. Joy, how do you say that? Rossini? Sounds like Italian.
Yeah, we can see your
And I see
video.
Betsy too is here. Cool.
Yes, pa
Okay.
Betsy, Sir Ruben. We're excited. We're excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike has this.
Later on, we're
Hello.
going to talk to you.
Yeah,
Later on.
Mike has these cronies now, people that he knows that are here. So,
Hello, good
yes. Oh,
morning.
Joy, that's nice community. You had a nice place you have there. Is that your home?
Seen it?
Is that the place you're living in? Why, that's a big place.
Yes, Doc. Hi,
Wow.
Doc.
Are you renting that place?
No, it's my house.
Nice. Oh, wow. Are you an H-1B visa?
No, still J1, Doc. But I'm still waiting for my waiver approval.
Yeah, but you bought a house?
Yes, with my husband.
Oh, your husband. Okay, so your
Do
husband's
do
American.
you still remember me, Doc? It was
Oh,
2023
okay. But your
that
husband
I
is
almost
American?
cried because I'm in my first quarter and still struggling with the misbehaviors and
Oh,
everything.
classroom
And
management.
then my second year, this is my third school year.
Okay, so now you
So
feel more
after
comfortable.
that, I transferred in another school.
Okay. And it's better?
Yeah,
Yeah. And
much better.
what state are you in, Joy?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. So this is Phoenix?
Yes.
Phoenix or where?
Yeah, last year we're in Phoenix. We're still
Oh,
in the apartment. And then last year, June, it's my daughter's birthday. And we have moved out here in Surprise.
nice. That is a very nice place you have there. That's big.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's
So
good that you don't have to mow. You don't have to mow very much too. That's an advantage.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so amazing though.
Uh-huh.
Imagine my first year, there were times that I almost gave up. I
Really?
cried every morning. I don't want to go to school. I'm like throwing up
Really?
because
You
it's
got stressed
yeah.
out? Wow. What were the
I'm
things that
throwing
really
up. I'm so skinny and like I'm
yeah?
always telling my daughter na, you should back up because every like anytime we can go home. I can't do it.
Yeah?
But when you go to school, you will be surprised. Everything will be different. Every day will be different.
What made you cry though, Joy? What made you cry? What
The
upset?
behavior. I have 27 students in my first year. It is a gen ed classroom.
What
I'm
grade?
alone in a new place, a
Ah,
new culture,
okay.
different.
What grade was it?
Third grade.
Okay, third grade, and they made you cry?
It's not the students, though, but the parent.
Are you serious? Well, I mean, well, they
He
were
bring
mean to
the
you?
police in my class.
They were mean to you?
I'm not satisfied with the support of the admin during that time. I was not in the classroom. I'm in a bus um duty, and then one of my student and her and his sister went back to my classroom, and they ruined everything in my classroom. When I came back, they're not there. So I asked the other teacher from the other class if they've seen someone went in my classroom, and then they don't say anyone. So I have a suspect that those kid, the only kid that went back there. Then the day after, the other teacher, which is a local,
Mhm.
uh, she asked those students, and
They said
they
yes.
told her that they did it, and they say
Wow.
sorry. They put some like a promissory note that they will not do that again. And the next week, there were some investigations happen because the story becomes different.
Mhm.
So there were some like when I asked the police that investigated me, they asked me that like what happened, why it's there, why there's an investigation like this, what happened, and then my assistant principal says they said that you touched the student. I
Oh
said,
my God.
huh? I didn't say them.
They
I
they
didn't
made it
saw
up.
them, and I
Wow.
didn't talk to them. So
Mm.
how come? But the student lie.
Oh my gosh. That's
Mm.
terrible
Yeah.
experience for
That's
you.
why right now I will not trust them anymore.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you always say teach but not touch. Never.
Yeah.
Okay, never. And that's why, and the kids in America, some of them are very demonstrative. Like they always want to hug you. And what I would do like a side hug, or I would just say, let's do like a fist bump. Fist bump
Mm.
would be safer actually. And so I would do that. But some of them are really huggers, but I would do side hugs. I can do side hugs all day long. I really do not feel comfortable, especially high school, to just like have a full hug like that. Some of them would
Yeah.
would would want that, but I just like I would side hug people still when I see my former students, and they're now like really tall adults, and I would still do side hugs. So so anyway, but
So,
you have to form that relationship for them to even approach and want to hug you, you know. But
mm.
too bad that that experience is so negative though, that for some reason.
Yes, first and second quarter.
Hmm. What you
But
learn,
in the third and fourth quarter, because I already learned my lesson, I don't care anymore. Like
yeah,
I
you should
everything, like I take it personally. So I was
uh,
crying when I feel like my students are not listening. I will be crying a lot. But when I learned that I should not do this because
yeah, you
it's
show weakness, they're
like,
gonna eat your lunch. Yeah.
yeah,
But
that's
did you
true.
show them that you cried, or whenever they were out of the
No, in just in home and
home?
during
Yeah.
the
But you were stressing yourself.
midnight.
Yeah, you're stressing yourself out though when you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So that's
my
not good.
second year is so like it's so different because I'm in the SPED classroom. I have 12 students and the parents are amazing. I'm in a private school right now. I'm still in the same school. And then this school year they started to open a campus near to my house. It's like 16 minutes. So
Not bad.
after 45 minutes of 45 to an hour minutes of like Mm, driving. Now I have like 16 minutes near to my house. So
Nice. Okay, well, good.
yes.
But the private school is actually most of the kids, not all, I'm sure, but most of the kids are much better behaved in a private school than in public school. That's what I find.
Yeah.
That in you will find less behavior problems in private school because the parents are paying tuition. So the parents are pretty much like, you better behave yourself because you can get kicked out. You get kicked
Yeah,
out
that's
of
true.
a private school. They don't have to take you. It's a private school. But in
And the admin are very supportive,
important.
so
A
I
lot of
love
times
it.
they're very kind. Yeah, they're very nice. Yeah, that's what I experienced dealing with them during accreditation visits. Yeah. So that's good that you're in
Mm.
a better place. How did you meet your husband? Did you meet your husband here?
Yes, look, in Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh,
In
okay.
Phoenix last year, like I came here last July 2023. I met him November, and then we get married last year,
Wow.
July, in
Two
a
full
year.
months. Wow, in a year.
But
Nice.
before that, we have our house already. We move out already.
Mm-hmm.
And then the good news is he's not a teacher before. Then last year he becomes a teacher.
Nice.
And then this school year, I have my J2, which is with me in last 2023. She is 18 years old. Now she's 20. And then she will be teaching with me
Yay, cool.
this
So how
school year.
how does the paperwork go? Did you do the green card already for the spouse?
I'm still waiting for the waiver approval.
Okay.
I already submitted my application for waiver, but
Mhm.
I'm still waiting for it. I don't want to like gamble because of
Mhm.
the new administration right now. I have to wait for my waiver.
Okay.
And then I also have my sister in here. Where is
Wow.
she?
That's
Yeah, she
your
just
sister's a
got here
teacher
last
too?
month.
Your sister's a
My
wow.
sister is a teacher too. She doesn't want to be here, but
That's funny.
I convinced her to be here. And right now I'm like
That's a nice
having
neighborhood you have. I love
I'm teaching her how to drive because
subdivision.
her and we are still in the same district, and then we got a second hand car for her.
Nice.
So
Okay.
today we'll be here driving lesson. Hopefully
Yeah.
she will pass because she failed the first time
Oh yeah, it's very normal
last
by the way
week.
to yeah, to fail after the first time is very normal.
Yeah.
It's more than
So
not.
hopefully she will pass today.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully.
good. Congratulations. For having all this support. You have a husband, you've got a kid, you have that then sounds like a family of teachers. Awesome.
All of us are teachers.
Yeah, very good. Well,
But
you have been
yeah, all of
blessed.
us are teachers already.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah, and you know Mike from Qatar or from Saudi? Do you know Mike? Mike, you know each other from which country? Philippines?
We know Sir Mike in your group
Oh,
chat
okay.
though.
It's a group. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
got it.
we enrolled PhD sped this semester, so we're
Okay.
classmates. Hello, Sir Mike. I was absent last night.
Yeah. Hi, Joy. Did you learn anything from our Zoom meetings or anything that helped you in your classroom management stuff? Did you
Yes,
learn anything?
though.
Yeah,
Because when the first time you interviewed me last year or last 2023, I don't remember.
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
I was in the in the time that I'm so depressed, and I don't know how to. I'm in my place. I'm the first one to be here
Okay.
in my town.
But they
So
don't know how
it's
to
like
handle.
everyone is looking and watching me if I will survive here or not.
Right,
And
right.
right now I know like more than 10 of teachers that are here
Good,
in the same state.
good.
Actually I have three co-teachers. It's already been here for two
Nice.
years.
Are they members of our ITSA? Are they our member?
There's one. Did you remember Miss Verna? She's
Mhm.
in the GC too. So
Yeah,
I helped her to come here. She's
nice.
here
Thank you
already.
for helping. Yeah. I think, yeah, and tell the others about becoming a member for us. That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate what particular something that you learned from ITSA that you applied? What is there something specific that you learned from us?
I remember you say something like don't take it personally because everything is it's not you.
It's not about you. Yeah. That's a good advice actually, right? Because
Yeah, it helps a lot
I think that's
how
part
to
of our
survive.
culture to be sensitive, right? We're sensitive, like we take everything
Yeah.
personally because we just really take things, seriously. But don't do that. In order to survive here in the US as a teacher, you're gonna have to like let it just, let it stay at school. Don't bring that problem at home. I would express like you're not supposed to. I would express to my husband, but I would not name names. I would just say, I have one student, I have a male student that did this today. What I handled it this way. What do you think that? Do you think that was right? I would just like vent. I would never share names, but I would always vent about the situation just to have an outlet, right? But I do not take
That's
it
true.
personally. Yeah, because if you are depressed because of it and you don't have a life because of it, then you're doing a disservice for your students or other students because now you're not the best version of yourself, right? Because you are the stressed version of yourself, which is not a good version. Having a
But
stress.
after the survival mode,
Mhm.
it's fine and it's like you are a new person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I agree with you. And also you have the personal support from your husband and all your family, and I'm sure that helped too. So that's cool, right?
Mm.
So you got now the tools in your pocket, but at the same time, when you get home, you're not alone, right? You have somebody that you know that love you and would support you, right? They're emotionally anyway, right? So I'm proud of you. Very good. And I'm so glad that you're sounds like a success already in the US for just a short years you are here and you already accomplished a lot. So cool. And sound like you have a good husband. Sound like you found a good man, to willing to go back to school and get his teaching degree. That's a big plus. Yeah, and then dual income here in the US always helps. Because if you have two people doing, good income, like teachers make good money here in the US. So if you have two of you doing that, that makes you afford the things that, we want to afford, right? Because if even if you're a teacher and you're only one, and then you have a big house, it's gonna be hard to pay everything plus have extras for travel or other things. So having two incomes, which is very smart of your husband to go back to school and do that. What was his job before being a teacher?
He's a manager on his own like business.
So he was
So
self-employed. Okay, have his own business. Okay. But the thing with that is there's no retirement in that. You
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah, that's the
so
thing too.
yeah, so nice to have a retirement income because I don't know what California's uh formula is. Like here in Arkansas, we serve 28 years and we can retire. And what is the rule in California? You have to
It's
be certain
we are in
age.
Arizona. I
Oh,
don't
I mean
know.
Arizona. Is it 28 years, 25 years, or
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Missouri is like your age plus your experience equals 80. That's what theirs is. So if you're 53 and you have 27 years of experience,
Happening to my
then that's 80. So now you can retire. That's kind of how they do that. Okay. Since I'm 57 and I only need to have 23 and to get there. So I only to have the minimum since I was administrator. I only have to do 3 years in Missouri, for example, next door to us. And then I can get another retirement. I can get another check from the state because I will be vested in their retirement after 3 years as an administrator or 5 years as a teacher. So I have friends that retired from Arkansas and they went to the Missouri, driving about 45 minutes to a school in Missouri and did 5 years and they doubled their retirement. So they got two checks now. So that's how they increase their retirement checks is to do that. And some teachers would take their administration classes and become an administrator. It's only based on your top three highest pay. So if you are administrators for at least 3 years, if that's the highest 3 years or three paid years that you have, the average of this the one that's gonna be the basis of your retirement. Okay. But it's pretty much like half of what you're getting now. So if your take home pay is 4,000, when you retire, it's only half that. So you only get 2,000, but you don't have to work. They'll just come every month. Okay. So if
oh,
you've been
wow.
doing 10,000 and 5,000 every month, it will come. And you don't have to work. So it's forever until you die. So that's the beauty of having a retirement compared to like a self-employed where you don't have a retirement. You get old and then nothing, right? So at least if you have the thing in the US, or I'm sure in the world, is that your employers would also contribute to your retirement. I think in Arkansas it was like 14%. 14% that the school will contribute to your retirement. So many percent would be contributed as a required thing. So if you put 100, they'll put $14 in. So your contribution now is 114 instead of just 100. So they put in 14%. Okay. So that's something that you can wish for soon. You're already getting towards that step, right? So I'm getting you already have your master's, right, Joy? You already have your,
Yes, I
yeah.
got my master's and PhD in Gen Ed, and I got my master's in SPED. Now I'm in SPED
Ah,
PhD.
oh, yeah, wow. But they're already paying you for your PhD or no? Do they pay you for your PhD now? For your no? I suppose
Because it's a private,
yeah,
so
private don't have to do that, but public
yeah.
would. Yeah, public would. Did the public school pay you for your PhD when you were working in the public?
Yeah.
Okay,
And when I transferred in private, they just level my salary from that Gened.
base it on that. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that's a very nice school then you are in.
Yeah.
They
And
could
every
afford
year
that.
they will just like 5% increase.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, sound like you find a good school. That's cool. Is it
Yeah.
a Catholic school? Is it a Catholic?
No, it's an autism school.
Okay, yeah, specialized school, and they get paid a lot from the government, because I know with
Mm.
autistic children, I think I know of a friend that owns some facility like that, and they get like $5,000 per month per student. So if you have 10, yeah, so if you have 10 students, you get $50,000 a month. So, so they have so many workers, they would, so they make good money because they get help. So,
Yeah.
yeah, because of the disability. Yeah. So it's pretty, she even said, you need to do one. I said, no, I'm done. I'm retired. I'm not doing any facilities like that. No, because she kept saying that, like, oh, you will qualify, whatever. And I said, no,
I'm so happy too because of my daughter.
mm, yeah,
She's having her college in here in a community college, and then because of her experience, they gave her a chance to teach too.
nice. Good, good. So you have an autistic child
No, my daughter, she will be a teacher with me.
with you.
The
Yeah.
same grade,
Yeah.
5 to 8.
Cool. Very nice. Yeah. So,
She will be my co-teacher.
oh, that's so cool, right?
But she's
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
because
that's
of her
awesome.
experience for 2 years.
Does she still live with you, or does she have her own place?
Yeah, she's still with me.
She will save money. She don't have to pay for it.
She
Housing.
has more money than me. I have
Yeah,
lots
because
of.
housing usually takes care of about 25% of our pay. So yeah, so that's 25% that she can keep for herself. So that's cool. But I don't know how strict a parent you are, but some parents here in the US would actually make them become responsible of a bill. Like, for example, they would say, you might be responsible for the internet. You pay for the internet.
Yeah, that's what
You
she
know,
does.
but yeah,
Even though she's still a para teacher, she
yeah,
does that.
you have to give her responsibility. Otherwise, they become irresponsible. They'll think that, oh, it just be get take and nothing to give. So you need to kind of have them to share. This is, we don't have to pay for everything. You're an adult now and you're earning too. So you need to
That's true.
contribute. Yeah. Although I would never do that to my kids though. They would like, yeah, I don't ask them, but they always offer, but I don't take it. But we're okay. But some folks, some families, especially if you have house payment, okay, we don't have house payments anymore, no car payment, no house payment. So,
Wow.
we don't really need it. So, but some parents that still have that, they could use the children's help. And you tell your teachers or your students that. I mean, your kids that, because in the Philippines, that's not part of our culture. But in American culture, we really want to teach our kids responsibility here. We want them to be independent. We want them to be responsible. We want them to be a giver, not a taker. And so that's something that you want to instill in your children's lives without being like like aho, yeah, like that, this is yours, this is mine, like that, like you have to do it like, oh, I know of a family where they have like 3 shelves in a refrigerator, and they would label them like, this is, so and so's, this is so and so's, and this is so and so's, and they were so strict about it because so and so paid for that. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I would not want that, like, oh, this is everybody's, whatever. But that's how their family worked. And that, this is Jet's friend. And so I was like, oh, wow. So Jet was sharing, my mom, they're very strict about, you cannot get from my sister's shelf, and all this. And I'm like, whoa, but roommates do that here. I mean, that's what they do with roommates here. They would have shelves in the refrigerator, and that roommate 1 would be the top shelf and the middle shelf. So roommate 2 and so on. They would divide like that. Or some partnership would be like, let's just everybody just chip in, and this is the budget for the food, and everybody will eat food. To me, that's better. Rather than like, you buy your thing and we have to like separate it. So whatever works. I think it's like anything, whatever works for you is what works. right? There's no such
Yeah.
rule, like you have to do it this way. You figure it out what works. Just like you have to adjust to your husband and all that, you know, the different things you have to adjust as a when you marry somebody from another culture, there's that adjust.
Nagilar ako diri, uy.
It's okay.
Balik pa ta.
You need to take care of business.
This
Okay.
is my sister.
Oh yeah, let me say hi. Hello. Hey,
Hi, good
nice
morning.
talking to you. You look the same. You favor. Yeah, you look the same. You look like twins. Who's
She's
older?
ugly.
Who's
She's
older?
ugly.
Yeah. By how many years though?
About, I don't know. You are the 9 from 11. From 11, I'm the 6. She's 10. 10.
Okay, so about at least 4 years
9.
difference, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of kids, you guys. You grew up from a
Yeah.
very big family.
I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I'm still bringing her to my school. And she called me, like, because I'm always bringing her to my school, she called me mama
Are you
already.
serious? That's fun. Yeah.
And then
See,
when we get to college, we are classmates until we got our masters or PhD.
that's neat. She's also got her PhD.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
cool.
enrolled her.
Nice.
I enrolled her. She
You
doesn't know.
you are so funny. No, you don't do that here in the US for sure.
She said, "Where's my money?" And I said, "I already enrolled you." But I didn't enroll yet until she say yes. And she
Okay,
said,
good.
"Okay, where's my receipt?" Okay, then I called the registrar. Okay, you can enroll her now.
Good for you. Yeah, that's funny. Good for you. But anyway, so you know that she's gonna be okay with it because I could never do that to any of my sisters. They would like, how dare you? They were so
She
independent.
doesn't want to be a teacher for the first night because we are a night school. So in our college days, she doesn't want to be a teacher. She enrolled in business administration.
Oh,
And then the second night, she transferred to education because there's a lot of copying books and everything. So
mhm.
she transferred and now she became a teacher.
Yay, and she likes it now too as a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joy, thank you so much. It is so nice visiting you. I wanted to know more about your life because I wanted our participants and people watching this video to know how your life changes when you come to the US. It's so different. Look at our house. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. And that
Yes,
house
though.
would be,
I'm 40 already, though.
yeah, you're
So
40.
in 40 years from the Philippines, I struggle a lot.
Yeah. And so
I've
now
been
you're
stabbed.
rewarded.
I have lots of heartache in the Philippines when I came. I don't know. My first reason why I came here is just like I wanted to surround myself with English speaking people so that I could speak.
Learn.
I only have 5 English with me. So
Funny.
I should, when I got a research, you should surround yourself to an English
English speaking.
society so that you can speak English.
Yeah.
So,
Your
and when
your English
I
sounds
came
good.
here,
You
I said,
sound
I don't know what's my reason in Arizona. I don't know what's the really reason why I'm here, but now I know. I I will be happy in Arizona.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Sometimes God, we try as humans, we try to make plans, but God already has a plan. So he just laughs because he really does have
Yeah.
a plan for you already. So that's his plan. So good. I'm glad that she had a good plan for you. So yeah. Well, it's
Thank
nice
you,
talking
Doc.
to you again and congratulations for everything in your life and continue to impact students' lives and give, okay? Give back. Pay it forward. Somebody helped you. You need to help others like what you're doing now. Continue to do that, okay? All
Thank you,
right.
Doc.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I
Nice.
have to leave too. I have to help my sister. She will
Yeah.
be
Tell her
driving
good
on
luck.
8. We have to like drive 45 minutes from here.
Okay. Well, tell her good luck on the test, okay? She can
Thank
do
you,
it.
Doc.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah. That's so cool to talk to Joy.
Yes, though.
So, yeah. Well, thank you, Mike, for telling us about you want to talk to Betsy or do you want to my mail? What do you want to do?
I don't know if they want to talk Mamunet, Sir Ruben, Ma'am Betsy, praying for their application, and
Yeah.
seems like they are just
Well, you
closer
can tell now that
for
you
their
can tell the
grade.
world now where they got
Yeah.
accepted, Mike, right? Is that a common knowledge
Yes,
now?
and Sir Jefferson is here. Sir Jefferson is here, Doc.
Yeah.
Probably he want to say something
Yeah.
about the status of their school now, or if they're already starting their school.
Yeah, Jefferson, tell us about that, Jefferson.
Yes, hello, good morning, Doc, and good
Hello.
evening, everyone who's in the Philippines. So, I'm just going to give an update for a while.
Yeah.
I just have to close the door because they're cooking tuyo.
There.
Yeah. So right now po, actually we will go to school because this is the first school year of my daughter that she will be going to the school.
So
And
excited.
you know what, Doc? My daughter's teacher for fifth grade would be Jmar.
Oh, okay. Well, you already know. There you go. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
Jamer
good.
would be the teacher of my daughter for fifth grade. Then after that one for the middle school, I'm going to transfer my daughter in the school district where we are residing right now because I enrolled her with the school district where I am working right now. And if ever you have plans of bringing your family here, your daughter, it's very important that you have a list of the immunizations that they have because since I prepared that and I learned that here in
Uh-huh.
ITSA. So I don't have any problem with that. So she's complete. So it's a very smooth process of enrollment for us. And I also elected Doc as one of the board of directors in the Filipino community here in
Nice.
Missouri.
Oh, good job. Yay.
Yeah.
Proud
So
of you.
I actually don't know, Doc. I just I just become a member. Then eventually they told me that
Oh, they saw your leadership skills.
yeah, that the Filipinos voted for me, so I am
Oh,
elected as
cool.
one of the board. And right now,
Congratulations.
right now our school district is I'm so thankful for the Normandy School District because as the representative of the Filipino teachers here in Normandy, they talked to me and they wanted to work in changing our visas from J1 to either H1B or EB2. So
Good
they
job.
told me
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the Filipino teachers are really doing great.
Yeah.
And they
They
told
want to
us
keep you.
we're going to start to work with you, with the Filipino community, since you have the experience on how you convert those visas. So we will be working with that and we'll be targeting that one to, and I think before we end the third year, so
Yeah.
that we can change our visas from J1 to H1B or EB2. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the update for the teachers here in
Nice.
Missouri.
LCA is the first step. So you need to make sure that you have your LCA. Somebody are gonna be able to help you with the steps there. Somebody
Mhm.
already experienced that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they do
that's
the
why.
LCA. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why most of the teachers here enrolled for a doctoral or a master's degree.
Yeah. For the EB2, that's easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I also enrolled for the doctoral for um educational management because here they actually it's okay for them if it's not your major. So
Yeah.
as long as like for example in my case, since I'm teaching computer science, I can have doctor for educational management, but I should have certifications which I already have with the support of the school district.
Nice.
I don't know, Doc, if you have an idea because they offered me to become the coordinator of the future business leaders in America, and they told me that it's a club,
Yeah.
and they told me that don't worry,
FBLA.
we'll give you extra pay for this.
Yeah, FBLA usually have a stipend. What is your stipend? Different schools set their own stipend. It could go as big as two, three, four, $5,000. So it depends on how rich your school is. Some of them are 800 or what, depending on if your school has a budget for that. And it depends in how a big a deal they have. If that's a very popular club with so many members, they're gonna pay the stipend the coach more. But
Yeah.
FBLA is a very good organization to sponsor.
Yeah,
And
they offered me to be the advisor of that club, and they told me that like you need to get your students until September because you will be joining out of state competitions. So you need to get ready with that. So that's what I'm looking forward for this school year.
yeah, good job. Hey, talk to your former sponsor and just get some ideas on, is the former sponsor of that club still in the district or did that person retire?
I think this is the first time, Doc, that they
That
will
they have
be
it.
joining the FBLA.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Nice.
compared with the other school district that I think they are cutting off their budget. Our school district has a lot of budget right now, so
Oh,
I think
nice.
they are really focused on spending it more. So that,
Research about that contest because they have different areas that they have a contest on. So research on the different categories. So you might
Mhm,
want to find out. There's always a state level one, so there's
mhm.
a national one. So if you contact them and find out more, that you introduce yourself, saying, "I am a new sponsor. I do not know anything about the competition. Will you please give me, some resources that I could read on about in order to help my students prepare. So that's what
Yeah.
I would do. Always do that, because there are different categories. And then that way, if you know the contest, you know which students to put in, because I think like business, there could be somebody in certain part of a business course
Mhm.
that would be there. So you have to send your strongest student for that. So it's good to know the categories where you're going to be competing in, so you know how to train your
Yes.
students. Yeah.
And I also learned, Doc, that teaching in summer school is actually not that hard because
It's easy. So
yeah,
relax.
it's so easy. Like our summer school is actually intended for 4 weeks.
Mm,
Then I just motivate my students like, okay, so you have to finish this one because when they get 100% already of their task, they don't need to come to school.
nice. So you
So
you you got them all done.
yeah, I just make them realize that if you're just going to maximize the time of 4 weeks, if ever you commit mistakes, you'll extend your summer.
Right.
Instead of finishing it now, doing whatever you can right now,
Mhm.
then if you still have time, I can guide you.
Mhm.
Then I just found out after 2 weeks, all of my students are gone. So
So what happens? You did not have any more pay for third and fourth week?
they still give me the pay. They
Okay.
just ask me to, you still need to come to school because you need to do the online things.
Mhm.
And I don't have students for 2 weeks.
Nice. Very nice. How many students did you start with?
I think I started with 10.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, so
good job for you. In 2 weeks, they got their credits done. Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that's the magic of Cheetos, Doritos, because every time they
You
finish a
bribe
task,
them.
I just give them
Yeah.
chips.
They
Yes.
do like it. High school really like chips for some reason. They really like chips and popcorns and so on. So yeah,
Yeah.
motivation for them is food, especially if you teach in a district with a lot of poverty, that some of
Mhm,
them do not have those extra snacks and extra things at home. So
mhm.
if they get that extra at school, they love it and they would work for that. And so
Yes.
that, yeah. So good. You found their favorite snacks and then you offer that, right? They earned that. You see, you buy those big containers of those little individual packs. Is that what you do? Yeah. If you go
Yes,
to
Doc.
Sam's
So
Club or something, yeah, you get those.
yeah,
Do
right
you
now
know that? Do you
I'm
know that
preparing
that were very what?
now I'm preparing for the opening of the school year. I think we will be having our first day of school on August 18, but right now we are having our professional development.
Okay. Well,
So,
I don't know what kind of, if any of your chips company are based in your area, you need to visit them because you can buy chips really, really cheap. Okay.
mm,
There's a chips company here in Jonesboro, near, well, I guess 2 hours from Mike, 1 hour something from Mike. Anyway, and so they have if there's once a week that they would sell to the public, and that's when
mm,
you sell it for very cheap. My friend Christina that always goes and rides with me, 80-year-old Christina, 81 now. She worked there for more than 20 years for
mm,
for Olay. Oh, what's that called that? Um anyway, the chips company. And then that's what she told me. She said, well, as a former employee, I could actually go in there and just buy food, buy them cheap. And so I
yes.
said, okay, we're going there.
And also, Doc, we have here Kid Smart. I don't know if Sir Mike is familiar with that. We have here Kid Smart in Missouri. So, it's actually an organization that if you are a teacher, you will just go to their warehouse. You can go like shopping and get everything that you need for your classroom.
Nice, very good.
Yeah, even the pencils, even
Yeah,
the face mask, everything that you need. So,
nice.
sometimes they are also giving chips because I think they are partnered with Walmart. So
Walmart.
you don't have to
Free to
spend,
lay, I think, yeah.
yeah, you don't have to spend for your classroom. So
Nice.
I think it's
Get some
supported.
extras. Yeah, get some extras for the year, because if you have like a big box full of pencils and you go ahead and have a pencil sharpener person in charge or job, then you always will have, so that you won't have this problem like, hey, I want to sharpen my pencil. It's so loud, right? So if you have somebody that, one of the tasks of the ones that are done early, that, the people that are always done first. So I would ask them to like, okay, sharpen pencils whenever you get done. That should be
Yeah.
your first things to do before they do something else, because that way it's so easy when somebody, oh, I need a pencil, you just grab it from that box or whatever organizer. Yeah. So
Yes,
it's
Doc.
so cool that you have that. We don't have that in the Philippines, and
Yes. Actually, Doc, I'm planning like if I have a lot of money, I will do that in the Philippines, like to put up an organization, tie up with National Bookstore, so that if you have these items that are not for sale anymore, you can give it to us and share it to the teachers, so they don't have to buy school supplies for their classroom. So
that's a good
how are
program.
you?
Yeah, you should do that. You can afford that because in the Philippines it's so cheap, and you can involve other teachers, and I'll be glad to help if there's something I can do to help. But anyway, I kind of do that for my family already. I have 10 nieces and nephews.
Yeah,
So
okay.
during that, time of the year when they buy stuff, I always help them. But you can do that, start with your family and then extend it to your community. And I think that's
Yes.
something that you can do on your own.
And also I want to share, like, since this is the first week of school for the other teachers who are having their first year in the US, one of the things that we usually do is that when we would like to talk to the students regarding with us, like if you're going to introduce yourself, you can make it like as a quiz type. Instead of saying like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Sevilla and I am a graduate and I'm from the Philippines," like you can create a presentation and just tell them like, what country do you think Mr. Sevilla came from? So
Mm.
you're going to have options A, B, C, and D. So you're
Yeah,
going to put
cool.
letters A, B, C, D
Mm.
around your classroom. So if you think your answer is letter A, go to
Yeah.
letter
So
A.
that, yeah, four corners. That's four corner
Yes.
strategy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So
can do
that's
that.
what
Yeah.
I'm planning to do for the first day of school because I'm
Yeah.
having high school so that they will not be sitting all
Yeah.
day long.
Do a yes or no too, where you would step up for yes and then step back for no, kind of type thing, or they would, cross a line there. So that's something you can do too, strategy wise. So if you
Yes.
there's no four corners, it's just a yes or no, then they can just line up there and then they just step up for yes and step back for no. Yeah. You can I attended a workshop this summer for that, I'm part of the consulting company Bailey. So we have to attend one workshop a year, kind of meet everybody. And I love that they had as a circle. You can do this in your classroom. Make a circle already, and there were like 60 of us, possibly big room.
Mhm.
So well, you don't want to do this in high school. You don't have to hold hands, but that time you were mostly women. But anyway, so we were holding hands, and then later on we were um um you can do it where you have to with teachers that you need to put like the 0 years of experience as a consultant this way, and then all the ones with the highest one had 50 years of experience. Oh my gosh, we were so impressed that this lady looks so young, but she was already in her 80 something, and she didn't look like 80 something. I thought she was like 60
Yeah.
something. And it's so neat. And so with your students, then you can do it by their birthdays. You can do that. That's one way to know them too. But like that's me. That's me game is good. So you have them lining up like the circle, and they said, okay, I have 3 siblings. And if that's them, they would step up from the circle and they would say,
Yeah.
that's me. Yeah. And then you can I have a cat. And then everybody would step up that had cat. I have 2 cats. And then so if you have, I have 5 cats. And then whoever's left there, like, okay,
Yeah.
somebody had a bunch of cats. And then I have fish. Anyway, so you have things like that you can, so instead of them talking, you really were just calling as a group. And then they would be, step back
Yes,
with
and
their
I
cat.
think that is the answer for if ever you're going to experience an interview with the schools and they ask you what are we going to see whenever we visit your classroom. That's one of the examples that you can share to
Yeah,
them
you can
so
do
that
the
they will
active.
have an idea of how you are teaching.
That's right. Active strategies, not just set and get, not drill and kill, but actually kids are being, from four corner strategy that you just described to gallery walk to the, to the two truths and a lie, or
Yeah,
what's the fifth? Yeah,
the
two
truth.
truths and a lie. So you tell them 2 truths about yourself, and then one will be a lie, and they have to figure out which one will be. And I have my students to just show your finger. If you think number one is a lie, then everybody will just show one finger. That way it's not loud. And then, and then I look around like, okay, it looks like only 2 people got that one, and I would tell them, I would call the person that was right, and so on. Like one of my fib is like, oh, they think that's impossible. I said, I was hit by a coconut when I was a little girl and my leg, and I have a scar to prove it. That's what I would say as one of my of what statement. And they always think that's a fib. I said, it's true. And I have on my leg right here, there's a big scar from this coconut that we were playing marbles under the tree. You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, they never get that.
Doc, I also would like to share, one of the culture shock that I experience here in the US is that whenever they are calling you, they will do like this.
Oh no, yeah.
You
I
know,
teach yeah.
Doc, to be honest, I am so offended with that because most of my students are calling Mr. Jefferson. Then I realized that
Yeah.
the school
The
principal
culture.
is doing the same thing. So I think okay, it's normal. But since for me, I still find it disrespectful. What I do inside my classroom is that I put a number there.
Uh-huh.
Then I put a poster like you need help, got questions,
Uh-huh.
take a number, continue doing your work, and wait for your number to be
Nice.
called.
I love that.
So,
Love that
yeah.
idea.
So I have the numbers in my classroom. It's like a waiting room.
Yeah.
So
It's a
if they have
DMV.
okay,
Yeah.
who's number one, number two, no, so that they will not call me like this.
Right, right. But also you explain to your students that guys in our culture, and I tell this to my students first week of the school or first day. I'd say in our culture, this is rude. You know why? Because this is what like those women in with bad jobs, not classy women, they are called and very disrespectfully by men like this. And you
Yes.
don't want to call your teachers like this as if we are not, we are I do not want to say the word prostitute, see?
Yeah.
I just said, those women that are not good women and they're called by the men and they do that, and that's really rude in our culture. So don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I know we do that in America. Just don't do that to me because it's still offensive to me. Just because we grew up in the Philippines. That's just part of our culture. So you kind of, and they go home and tell their parents that, because on parent teacher conference they said, do you know what Miss McCullough said? You can't do that. You can't do that. They're calling like this because that is not good in their culture. And that is something that's a cultural experience that, I mean, cultural knowledge they need to know. Just
Yeah.
like in some culture, if you do okay like this, that is offensive to them. Okay. In some Middle Eastern countries, you cannot show your the back
Palm.
your the sole of your foot. That's
Oh.
offensive to them. And then
Mm.
to use the left hand for food is offensive because they only use the left hand to wipe their bottom. So you do not use that. You do not use that to put food. Okay. So different things like that. So those are cultural things. And so when I teach them that, I actually research some countries that had some taboo things to do. And I would say, did you know? Did you know that in the Philippines, this is rude, Did you know that in some countries, when
Yeah.
and I would name the country, this one, okay, signal, or even peace signal is
Yeah.
actually offensive to them. So you have to be aware when you travel different countries that these are some things that are offensive. So in our culture, that's a good point right there. So Filipino teachers, when you come to the US, you need to tell them that calling people like this is rude to in our country.
Yeah. Do not get angry because you have
Yeah,
to make a research first why they are doing it.
that's right.
Yeah.
And see,
And
I have,
also, Doc,
yeah.
last year my favorite line is say that again.
Huh?
Because say that again because
Say
most of the population here are black. So whenever they are speaking, it's like they are doing rap.
Mhm.
And I always keep on saying, say that again, say that
Yeah,
again.
say that good is good. By the way, my daughter, who is a psychologist, right, corrected me. You don't say they're blacks, you say they're black students.
Hmm.
Yeah. So for some reason, she said that, Mom, it's better to say they're black students, not like the blacks, like that.
Mm.
It's almost like,
Yeah.
and she never said it's offensive. She just said it's better to say as a teacher,
Yeah.
black students,
Yeah.
or
Then
your
I
African.
realized after like we're almost a year right now, so it's actually easy for me to understand what they're saying right now.
Yeah, it is an adjustment for your ears because it's not something that we hear all the time. My mom had a hard time understanding my husband. When she first arrived here in 1990, she was like, Len, what did Dwayne say? What did Hayden say? And I'm like, well, this is what he said, Mom. I'm like, but he talks so fast. And I'm like, I know, Mom,
Yeah.
you'll get there. You adjust because my brother-in-law at that time, he speaks so clearly, like, from Minnesota then. And so he would just enunciate every word clearly. And that's how from the northern, Midwestern, and northern folks here would speak very softly and very kind of clearly and not fast. In the South, we talk really fast. So we just like adjust to that you will hear that. And your parents of your students. So the first parent teacher conference I had, some parents, I'm like, they just like talk like, you know, with the accent, with that southern slang on top of it. So good thing that I live with a we live with my husband who's American, because if I didn't, I would not have been used to that. You know, by then I would have been married to my husband at least 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been married 3 years. I'm used to the culture, but I could imagine if that was my first year, like your first coming arrival here, that's hard to understand because when we watch TVs in the Philippines and there are American, roles there, they speak clearly. They don't speak like the locals in some of the twangs, we call them the hillbilly accent. Some people would think of that as an insult to say hillbilly accent. My husband thinks it's a compliment. I said, no, the southern accent would be better. So with the southern accent where they just like it's almost like they're eating the words because it's so
Yeah.
fast. Right. And so you have to enunciate it. And that's why my doctorate teacher would say, Marlena, you have to make every word count. So people need to hear every word because I'm guilty about when I get excited, I would just like eat, my words. Just, make my word, it needs to count for every word. And if I'm asked to speak to an audience, a big audience, I would plan my speech and I actually would make my word count, every word count. But in Zoom, for example, this is very random. I mean, it's like our topic is so random. There's no way we can plan it.
Yeah.
So you have to just express how you do it. And you can see how excited I am by how fast I'm talking. You can
And
tell
also, though, I would like to share, you know, the difference in the educational system in the Philippines. If you need something for your classroom, you have to look for a sponsor, right? Or you need to use your own money. But I tried here. I requested for the school district, like I said, I just needed the latest tablet of Samsung
Mhm.
because I'm doing the MIT App Inventor and I'm using.
Especially you as a business
Yeah,
person.
so they said like, okay, just give us the link from the Amazon. So I gave them the link and I just searched for it in Samsung, the latest,
Mhm.
the most expensive tablet.
Yeah.
You know what, Doc? After 3 days, it arrived. They
Yeah.
called me in the office. So here's your tablet,
Yeah.
together with the pencil. What else
Nice.
did you need?
Yeah.
And I was so shocked, like it was just supposed to be a joke.
They do that here. You are the business, a computer person. They will give you the best and the newest. And
Yeah.
in some schools, even though you're not a business person, they still would do it because they have the extra budget.
Yeah.
So, it depends on, if you know the surplus you have, especially I think if you ask it like the money ends in June 30th. The last year's money ends in June 30th. So
Mhm.
July 1 is the start of the new money for the school year. It started on July 1st. So if they already know their budget and July 1st is already here, the new money is already here, and they know they have a surplus of so many,
Yeah.
thousands, whatever, then they will, oh yeah, we can handle that. And every school, like for example, I've worked in school districts where there are 6 different school buildings, right? 6 different. So we have a kindergarten building, we have a 1, 2 building, and then 3 to 5 building, different combination like that. So they have a budget per building. So per principals get a budget. And so
Yes.
if you're close to your principal and you have a good relationship with your principal, you can just ask and say, hey, if you have any extra on your budget, is there a way that I could attend this PD because I'm really interested in it,
Mhm.
or I really feel like I'm weak in this area? I would really love to attend. There's a PD that I saw, that professional development training that I see, and it's gonna be in Little Rock. And so then before I talk to the administrator, I already did the budget. I'm like, okay, the hotel is this much. And then it's gonna be so many miles. And so the payment, times 55 cents. This is how much it costs for the travel. And then the food, they usually have a budget. They give you like, some people would do $80 a day. Or sometimes they'd say back then it was like 10 10, 15, and 25. So that's 25, $50 a day. Because when we went to Chicago, we had to double that because it was so expensive for the meal. So I said we had to double the 50 to 100. So that you can give them a budget like that. And this is how much. When I was administrator, when somebody would ask me that, I already knew that it's going to cost me $500 per person per night, per day, like for that trip, it's going to be around 500. And usually it's only a day, they only spend a night. So it's going to be 500. So if there are 4 teachers going, do I have $2,000 extra that I could spare for these teachers? And so sometimes like, well, I don't have any more money on my budget, but I could ask my boss to say, hey, do you have any budget somewhere else that you can, because these teachers are really wanting to learn this, and I want them to teach the other teachers this when they come back, because that's usually what principals would be willing to give you the money, especially if you offer like, after I learn this, I'll be glad to help the other teachers learn this. I will be glad to share this with the other teachers. And that's like the selling point for me. Like, okay, this is gonna be not just I'm sending there 4 people. These 4 people are gonna be training everybody else. Like I took 9 teachers, so that the special ed director and I took, I was a curriculum director back then. And so we took 8 teachers to Chicago. So there were 10 of us, and we stayed for a whole week, which was expensive. But it was so nice because we stayed in a hotel where the blues country music thing there was every night. So we were like listening to it, and we were eating our dinner there, and they have, and you can drink, just don't put your drink on the tab for the drink in your school's receipt. You have to do a separate one for that. So if the school is paying, like you have $100 in Chicago, we had $100 budget. And so when you part of your meal and you wanted a wine or whatever, beer, then you need to make sure you tell your waitress or waiter that please separate this. Do not put it in my school on my regular receipt, because I need a separate receipt for this, because I'm paying for this personally. Because you have to turn in the receipt to the school.
Yes.
And you don't want it to, nobody will pay you for that wine, and even administrators, we still have to do that. They're not going to be approving. There might be some, I think private school may do that, but I know public schools, we cannot put in any of our personal drinks and stuff in the receipt to turn in. So we just had to pay separate. And if my husband comes with me, some people would just go ahead and put the 2 orders in there. I always never felt right about that, because they're paying for me. Why am I charging somebody else in my bill? So I always would tell the waiters and waitress, I separate my husband's bill because the school's not paying for his. I'm paying for that. But some people are so shameless. They just put it in there. They're like, well, they're sending me, my husband's here, so I'm going to feed my husband, with this. And I'm like, I don't tell them not to, but when they're still in the budget, I guess. But some of the people that are reimbursing you might be strict. Like, how come there's 2 dinners? Did you eat twice? So I was always very conscious about that, I brought my husband with me. He didn't have to come, but I wanted him to come share the room with me. But then when we come to the food, I will want to separate his, so that I don't have to turn in his to my, to my receipt, to my reimbursement. So that's
Yeah.
something you could consider. But some of them, I'm telling you, some of them just do their own kid too. I mean, like a whole family, they just charge it in there. I'm like, well, I guess as long as you stay within the budget. But some schools are stricter than others. So
Yes,
good
Doc.
to know. Yeah.
And you know what, Doc? I was so entertained during the first day of our professional development because when we arrived at the venue, they offered us breakfast as the usual thing that
Nice,
they
nice.
then they provide us shirts. Then we're thinking like, where's the superintendent? Where's the principal? Where's the HR? So all of them are not there in the venue. We didn't see them. Then when the start of the program, it's usual in the Philippines that there's a lot of adjectives you're going to say about the superintendent, the hardworking, and then you know what? Our school administrator, our school district administrator, the reason why they're not in the venue, it's because they're in their costume like superheroes. So
Nice. They came out being
when they
superheroes.
were introduced, there's a fog machine, then there's
Nice.
a logo
Sound
like
like you have
Guardians
creative
of Growth.
people
Then
there.
they arrive one by one in
Oh,
their
nice.
capes and their masks, and we're so happy, like, oh my God, they're superheroes. But eventually, after explaining everything, yeah, we're superheroes here. We are here to support you, but you are
Oh,
the superheroes inside the classroom.
right. Very
So we
good.
are your
What a good
students.
theme you have. Yeah,
Yes, and it's so inspiring. Like
is.
I feel
And that,
so blessed
yeah,
and
that is
so
building a
happy.
professional learning community. That's already part of your learning community. And that's your administrators are doing a great job of having this
Yeah.
theme. Mike has the same theme. What was it? Boots on the ground, Mike? They also had a shirt thing going with Mike's school. Mike's still here. Anyway, boots on the ground, and they had this military shirts and stuff, there, and they were taking pictures. And so then the superintendent said, "Yeah, let's take a whole group pictures." They started, you know how Filipinos, we always take a pictures. And then they said, "Oh, let's have a group picture." So they have a group picture, and Mike was sharing this in our ITSA group. So I was happy. That a big smile on my face whenever people shared that with
You're
me.
so creative. How I wish we also have that in the Philippines.
Yeah, I know, right? That's in the budget again, That's not in the budget. So in the Philippines, we do a lot of extras that we pay ourselves, right? That's what everybody says to me. I didn't experience, 'cause I was a student there, never taught there. But it sounds like the budget is so limited there that you don't really have that. I went to a school where they were so big on team building, because they call that team building experiences. One summer, there were 34 of us administrators. And so they took us to Little Rock, which is the capital, and then they had this bike. There's bikes you can rent, and then everybody's got a bike. The school paid for it, and oh my gosh, I realized I cannot bike, guys. I cannot bike the regular height bike, and they don't have a children's. So I said, I can't ride this bike. So luckily for me, one of our I think one of the administrators, the sped director at that time, she just had surgery, so she cannot really go, and so she just kind of got approved to attend. So I said, can I just stay with Kim? So she and I went to this restaurant and had tequila. And so we had,
Doc,
yeah.
Doc, sorry, I have to cut you because
Yeah.
I received a message.
Yeah, go
Someone
ahead.
is looking to be accepted, Sir Mike. Can you accept him?
Yeah, yes, do that. Mike, is Mike still here? Mike is the host, so I don't know.
Because he messaged me already like, "Hey, are you in the Zoom? I'm still waiting to be accepted. Please accept."
I'm so
Hi.
sorry, Doc. I'm driving now, so I'm going to check it now.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Welcome po.
Yeah, if you want to give it back to me, Mike, I will do it. So you don't have to worry while you're driving.
Yeah.
You can give it back to me.
I'll just wait for him to come in,
Thank you
Doc.
so much.
And
Yeah.
I need to go to the school of my daughter right now because we will be getting supplies.
Oh,
They are giving Reebok shoes here
I know, right? They
for
give
the
all kinds
students
of things there because
with
the community would donate. Like Walmart would have this big old truck of Walmart, like the Sano in the Philippines. They would have this big truck, and people would just come in with donated things and just fill up that truck. That's what they do. It's
with bag of
amazing.
school supplies, dental checkup, and immunization. So that's why I have to bring her because she's enrolled. So I
Nice.
received a message that
Oh,
I
cool.
bring my daughter there.
Well, I'm so proud that your daughter is going to experience going to America, right? That's so cool. You'll have to come back and see me again. That would be cool.
Yes,
So
Doc. But
you can do-
most of my students are thinking like I'm Spanish, or some
Yes.
of my students are thinking that I am Thai because whenever they see me in the hallway, they say, "Sawadee ka," and I said, I'm not Thai, I'm Filipino." So you can say, "Mabuhay" or
Good.
"Kamusta."
Yeah, good. Teaching them how to greet in our language is good. Yeah. Well, yeah, you do look like Thai anyway. We do look like Spanish too. So you're gonna have to learn those language.
Yes, Doc. And I also learned that my surname here is Sevilla. It's not Sevilla.
That's right.
So
Sevilla, because
my
double L
Hispanic
is a Y.
students,
That's right.
my Hispanic students told me that, Mr. Sevilla, your last name should be Sevilla. It's not Sevilla.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you have to tell them in the Philippines. That's what we say it. So you'll have to say it in our language. Sorry. But yeah, so yeah, you could say that to them, that this is how it's pronounced in our language. But I know in Spanish it's gonna be Sevilla, but in our language it's Sevilla, because the
yeah.
two L's is an L instead of a Y. Yeah, you can make that a teaching moment. That's what I would do, because I'm not gonna want somebody to change my last name. I'm Tamara. Tamara was my middle name. I mean, my middle name now, but my last name. And so the students were like, say, "I love you tomorrow." You would always sing like that, with the Annie song. And I'm like, I started to not like that Annie song because they would always like tease me with that. Tomorrow, tomorrow. So
Doc,
yeah.
I think Mirna is also waiting for
Okay.
waiting
Yeah.
to be
Well,
accepted.
did Mike has not given it back
Doc,
to me. So Mike,
Doc, I'm so sorry. I opened my my two accounts,
ah,
and the host account is on my laptop, and I'm using my mobile phone. I'm checking how can I resolve it, but it seems like I'm having a trouble there. So
ah.
probably I need to close it, or I'm so sorry about that, Doc.
I think if you end it, Mike, then you will end the whole meeting. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to
Yeah.
do. Is there somebody at home that could do your laptop, Mike?
No po, Doc. No po. All of us are out now.
Oh.
Okay. So you have two accounts. Did you not look in your
Yes po.
account and see if you could to make yourself host from there?
No po, kasi as you can see po, I have two pictures there. One is the host and one is a participant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Correct po. The host is on the laptop.
Yeah. Oh,
Doc, I
so
will just
sorry.
prepare to change my clothes for
Yeah.
uh
Well,
yeah.
will you please
But I'll still be
message
there.
them to say that that's why? Mike, will you be gone all day already or will you be back? Where are you going?
We're going to get some school supplies food here
True,
po Doc,
yeah.
sa Helena, pre-school supplies.
Ah,
Actually, there are two churches and one organization that will be distributing school supplies for the students for free, and we will going to
And the school
grab them.
supplies here doesn't have the picture of the politician. Like if it's
yeah,
Crayola, it's really
Yes,
Crayola.
yeah, 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 which is
yes,
good,
even the
right?
backpacks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm sorry that we can't get people in anymore because
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry about that
that
po Doc.
it's no problem. That happens. It's
Ma'am
okay.
Maria Lovely Buenviaje is also joining. So I think they are 3 already.
Ugh. So what's another way, guys? Can you you're a business computer person. What's another way for us to do that? Um,
Unfortunately, I cannot do it also, Doc, because I'm not the host.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And I can't do
No,
that
Yeah.
either now.
Sir Jefferson, if ever Doc Marlena will end it, so it will not end, right?
Yeah, if she ends it, then that's
Well,
it. We're
everybody
going to start
ends.
another
But
one,
but
yeah.
he's the host though. So if he ends it, that's it. Because right now I don't have the power. So what we can another solution is for us to stop this and then just go back in. We'll have
Yes
two
po. I
we'll have
think
two recording. We have two recordings that way
yes
because
po.
this will end and another I think segment 2 would start. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine halfway. Everybody, let's do that. I get ready to come back in because we're gonna end this one so that people can come in because I hate to not let those people come in.
Yes po. I'm so sorry about that, Doc.
No problem, no problem at all. So what I'll do is Mike will end it and I will reopen it. Okay. So everybody, please come back in and we're gonna let everybody in whenever Mike will end this and this first recording. Okay. Thanks for solving this problem.
Doc,
Yes.
hello.
Yes.
Yeah, yes po. That's the best solution. I switch my account and
Mm-hmm.
now I control it.
So now you are the host again?
Yes po, Doc.
So now
I
you,
don't know. I don't know, but I saw Ma'am who is this Ma'am Giselle. I admitted her. So probably
but can you give it back to me?
yes po, Doc. I'm going to check it. Yeah, the host account is what I'm using now po, Doc.
Okay. Give
Wait,
it back to me so you don't have to worry. And I'll get back people in. Okay, good. Perfect.
yes
Okay.
po.
Now thank you, Mike, for solving that. How did you solve it? You just turn off the other one?
Yes po. I switched my account po because it shows that when I exceeded po doon sa previous Zoom meeting natin, it shows that switch account. So I click it and then gotcha. I got it.
Okay. But do you think I guess the recording continues, right? Because I never left. So
You did not po?
yeah, the recording should be
Yeah,
the same.
probably.
Yeah, cool.
Yes po. Yes po.
All right, so we'll just let people in when they come.
And then if you have time po, or you can cut that portion po or that part so that there's no that part or portion of of the session.
Yeah. Um, So right now I have Emilia in. Oh, there you go. They're now coming in. That's cool. So Debbie's back in. I have Emilia and I have Giselle, and others hopefully will come back. There's about 10 or more others that will should come back if they want to. But we have not been having too many people in the summer, but I always, when I send everybody the recording, they always say that they are watching it. So hopefully, and I do see that there's a lot of views whenever I post it. So it's okay. I don't mind as long as there's some people here to talk to in order to share something. So here's Mona Lisa. Welcome. While waiting for the others to come back in, Emilia, do you want to talk to us? Emilia, I think I fixed the distribution list. I think you're in there now, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you very
Emilia,
much. I received the
thanks.
message.
Thanks for reminding me. I did fix it that day. I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that I do this for the next one because I felt bad that I promised that I did and I forgot. So anyway, but I just don't trust my memory now. I'm closer to 16. I felt like my memory is just going downhill every day. And I forget things. My husband and I would call each other all the time because I'm like, I can't find my phone. Call me. And I'm like, okay, we're normal. When somebody was joking to me, like, well, Marlena, that's okay if you forget, as long as you still know what the phone is for. If you don't know what the phone is for, then you have a problem. And I'm like, okay, good.
Yes.
So yeah, what's going on with you? Amelia, did you say you started school already or not yet?
We are in school.
You're in school already, yeah. See,
Yes, ma'am.
Arkansas schools are mostly open this Monday. So the professional
Oh, okay.
development training for teachers were going on this week. And then next week, Monday, that's when everybody will start. It's weird to me because my kids are now, adults and not going to school. Our grandkids are in Nashville, Tennessee, which is, 7 hours away. And one is in college and one is a senior. And so I'm not very, I don't have anybody here that are going to school K-12, other than our granddaughter, Allie, that's 12th grader. But
Oh, okay.
but before I remembered enjoying the shopping here, Emilia, in the US. I don't know if you have this in where you are. We have a tax-free weekend, which is like usually the first week of August. That's when a weekend from that I guess that Saturday and Sunday that they don't, clothes and things for school are free of tax. So that's when I had a mistake of going there to Jonesboro, which is the college town where I went to. And there were so many kids. Oh my gosh. The school, like Old Navy, for example, was loaded with kids. It's almost like Christmas. There were so many kids, so many parents, so many grandparents. And I'm like, I'm not going in there. That looks like a circus there. And my friend that was with me, that rode with me, she has 2 kids, so she had to go there. So I said, I'll just wait outside. And there's next door or 2 doors down was TJ Maxx. And I said, I'd rather go to TJ Maxx. They're still full. Not as bad as Old Navy, but TJ Maxx was also loaded with folks. And some people enjoy that. I don't. I felt like I have too much competition. Any aisle that you go to that's loaded with people. And so, but that was interesting to see, like a plan in my head. I'm like, okay, Marlena, you do not need to go to tax-free weekend shopping anymore with friends. They were asking me to drive them because they didn't feel comfortable driving 2 hours away. That's a town where I lived there for 2 years and a half. So I know the place really well. And so they said, can you please go with us and we'll pay for your gas and so on. So, they filled up my car, but I still did not really enjoy it because of the number of people, just so many people. When you have to line up so long to go to the bathroom, you have a problem. So I said, let's go to the gas station down the road. And then when you come back, there's no parking. So now you have to okay, let me drop off everybody here, just drop off here and let me just go park and I walk. I need to walk anyway. So I park far away from the parking lot, the other end of the parking lot. And it's a huge parking lot because there's a lot of stores. And then I drop everybody off in the front. And after we went to the gas station. But yeah, that's what it is here. I do not know the shopping there. Emilia, tell us about the shopping for school things in Africa. Is it pretty busy too?
And normally when school reopens, we have the places very, very busy.
Busy. Yeah.
Yes, when school opens, but you'd have to buy everything yourself.
Oh yeah. There's no
Yes, you'd
free
have
stuff. Teachers are
no.
getting paid like 500 here. Usually, it's very common to give the teachers $500 to buy stuff for the classroom. It's common here in Arkansas to do that. But although some schools are not giving the 500, they're doing like 250, and the other 250 goes for like copier and things like that. But some schools are giving the whole $500 in a card, school card, and then they will go buy stuff, or other schools are like, you order from this catalog of school supplies and you turn it into the office, and the office folks would order it because they get discount when it's ordered in bulk. And so anyway, so yeah, so they do that, but they budget about $500 per teacher for miscellaneous things for the classroom. Some of times they would buy pencils for the students, a big bunch of them, and then some of them would buy like bulletin board supplies, things like that. So anyway, yeah,
Okay.
different countries. Isn't it amazing? Like your country is like the Philippines. We don't,
Yes,
no
yes, it's
teachers
like
have to
the
do that.
Philippines.
Even when they have company like visitors from like Department of Education, they have to provide for the snacks and things for that to feed these visitors. And yeah, I'm like, I did not know that. The teachers were coming to my home one summer. They were helping me decorate for my party. And so they were telling me, oh, by the way, in school, we have to decorate like crazy when somebody's coming from the Department of Education. And you know who pays for that? And I said, who? School, right? I said, no, us. I'm like, oh my God, really? I said, yeah, we paint if our classroom need painting, we would paint it ourselves and we pay for the paint. I'm like, not here in America. They're going to complain to that. No, here you just tell the maintenance department that when something needs to be fixed and they fix it. And just like you do with a computer problem. My sister, I remembered I was an administrator at a school and she was a teacher, right? In the same school. And I would have a computer problem this today, and my computer is fixed within the hour. They take care of the administrators really fast. And then my sister would wait 2 or 3 days, sometimes a week. She said, that is not fair because I know for a fact that you and I had the same problem in the same day. But why is yours already working and I'm still waiting for
Mm,
mine? And I said, well, because there's so many of you and there's only a few of us administrators. So,
yes,
but I really think because we serve a lot of teachers that they want to make sure our computers work.
yeah.
But then they serve their students, but there's so many teachers. So so but I still think that they will just, I guess get brownie points from the administrators. But they take care, for some reason, they take care always. In any school I work in, they always take care of the administrators first.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that they do. So what else is new going on in your school? Is there something, strategies or any fun things like, they were sharing about how they start school, some theme things. Do you have anything going at your school like that? Do you start with a program, like a school program in the beginning of the year? Some schools do that.
So normally we start with a staff meeting.
Staff meeting, okay. For how long
Yes,
is
that's
that?
what we
Is
start.
that a day or 2 days? How many?
A day.
Day, okay. So a staff
Yes.
meeting, and then the second day two, the
And
students.
then normally we have the staff meeting. Then we have program-based meeting where teachers will be meeting their students in programs. Let's say the science students, science teachers will be meeting their science students.
Oh,
General art teachers will be meeting them to welcome them and then
okay.
tell them the tasks ahead, so
Oh,
that if they also have expectations for the semester, they would also bring it out
okay. So their
for a smooth,
syllabus. So they're sharing their
yes,
syllabus with them. Yeah.
yes, and any other activity they would want us to.
Projects. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So it's kind of like college then, right? It's kind of like college. Yeah, that's cool. Big practice. Here it's like a regular class, whenever they do, most teachers would come up with their own, like getting to know students activities. I always like that. I always came up with like some introduction activities that's more fun, like a bingo, and you can do a regular bingo or bingo with names, or you can do a regular bingo, and then whenever somebody bingos, then they will pick some a prompt from a glass that I've prepared, a index card, and they will answer the questions when they bingo. or they get a prize after that, so anyway, so you can play stuff like that, different games, like, like John said earlier about making a games about yourself. You can have them for the high school kids, create a game after you modeled it, then give them time to create something for themselves. And, if they work with a partner, like introduce their partner. So if my partner is my sister Milet, I would introduce Milet, and then she would do Merlina. And so we would be sharing about the other person. So it's not kind of awkward to be all about me. It's like the other person. Let me introduce you. And then sometimes you could get funny of like, she is a flamenco dancer, from where we just made up things, funny things and whatever. You could do things like that to kind of make it like an exaggeration or some kind of make up things that about that person where it's not really, but everybody laughs about it. So yeah, just come up with some really creative ways to open your lesson up. Same thing with not just the beginning of the year. I did that like the beginning of the month because I have projects, every month we had a monthly project, right? So to introduce the project, I always did something like either a video, a short video, or some little book that would connect to the theme, anything like that. Make it more creative to introduce the topic. And then that way, then I will present to them, this is our topic this month or whatever. So that, for example, is the big idea is change, then you're going to have to come up with whatever your topic is, but your focus is change. Okay. So that everybody has the same focus, but different topics of their own interests. So anyway, so you can do something like that. So not just the beginning of the year, but any time that you want to be creative, you need to make sure you do that. So, and right now it's so loaded. You can do chat GPT and just have them to list things. Like I did a chat GPT, a list 25 ways to introduce yourself, or 25 things for the first of the year activities for students. And boom, 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 it just listed for you. And if it's just a list, you need to say, describe each one. Give me 2 or 3 bullets to describe each activity. You can go back and then it will give you that. Okay. So when I make those little reels for Facebook, that's what I do. I do chat GPT and I'll just give them the prompt. And then if I don't see any more details, I would say, provide 2 or 3 bullets, or just 3 bullets under each topic, and then they would always say, do you want to create a poster? I said, okay, create a poster for each topic or every 2, 3 topics, whatever. So, yeah, with the technology now, you should not be spending too much time to search for things to make your classroom more fun. I
Yes.
attended a book club, for literacy teachers. You can do a book club for your school, and you have a monthly meeting, and you can partner up with your librarian, and you can have a monthly meeting for your book club. And what this teacher did, and I was observing her, and so I was joining them, and the librarian and the teacher got together, and they made this coffee flavored ice cream. So they have this ice cream, and they have this coffee thing that they did, and then they put the ice cream in it, so coffee, like a coffee float is what they did. And it was so good. I had 12 seconds. But anyway, so then she took the chat GPT and just asked for activities that go with this book. And so she put the title of the book, and then there were some activities that chat GPT spit out, and that's what she chose, the activities that we're going to do that more interactive. So like they did like some kind of spy activities where every group had some kind of spy event, a spy task that they had to do, and then to figure out something. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I liked it. It's a really good idea. So you can always incorporate technology when you can. I know some people are hating AI. They really are against AI. I know my 2 kids, they're not very crazy about AI because they said, Mom, there's so many errors. There's so many, things that you can. I said, I always check. And there's a lot of spelling errors, yes. And I try to check them. Sometimes I miss it, but sometimes I miss 1 or 2. But they said, Mom, you have to check that there's no error on the information. I said, yeah, I check that too. I read every word to make sure that what it's saying is actually something that's true. If I doubt it, I'll Google more. Like, okay, because they said that some of the Gen Z kids were putting all kinds of bad information on the internet, on Reddit and other places, and the AI are picking up these things that are misinformation that were done on purpose so that the AI will search through the internet and would just spit out this information that's wrong. So that's why, as a ChatGPT or other AI user, you need to make sure that you also check. You always still not have to have you still have to have your brain there, because you cannot just trust it, especially when making posters. Oh my gosh, posters will always have spelling errors. Lots. One day I was doing this really popular poster that I did, where how to say things in our language in the Philippines and then how it's being said in the US. Like, where's the bathroom? You say in the Philippines, where's the CR or the comfort room? And I put do not say this in the US, because it's really where's the restroom or where's the bathroom. And there's so many mistakes in that poster. I was embarrassed because somebody pointed it out. Like, oh, you did not check this. There's so many errors, spelling errors here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because it was it was at dawn and I was getting ready to go to bed. So I was just like, okay, it's printed. Like, let me just post it. No, you have to, after posting anything, whatever AI gave you, always check every word and accuracy. And so I got so aggravated because it took 10, 15 times one time. It's terrible. And so I would like, I said, I said, this is ridiculous. This is have multiple errors. It should be 100% spelling fair. I was like making all these capital letters. I was like really screaming at it, and all that. And it will just talk to you, and try to fix it. And then it will fix one, and then the other one will have mistakes. Anyway, I was frustrated one night that I just went to bed and like, I'm gonna see it in the morning, because it's ridiculous. So you have moments like that, so you just have to watch it. And sometimes it's so
Okay.
busy, I guess, on the on the printing and all that of posters or images, that it would say you have to wait 4 more hours before you can use this feature. I'm like, oh great. So it depends. So frustration comes with it. Okay. So Emilia, so how are you on your application stuff? Have you applied anywhere?
Yes, I think the last time we spoke,
Mm-hmm.
you advised on using this school spring. So I've started with it, but with the few ones I have done so far, no results found. So I'm still on it.
Okay.
Mm.
You have that I have that file with the multiple. If you get that important link document that I sent when we first communicated, there's a link there of the 50 states. You may want to find that. And because
Okay.
that link goes directly to their job link, and then it will change whenever they update it. It would also change because you go to that website for their job search. So
Okay.
find that, and if you don't have it, email me and I will send it back again to you. Okay, guys? Anybody, if
Okay.
you want to,
I think I
McCullough
have that
Marlena,
one.
yeah, McCullough Marlena at Gmail. And if Giselle or somebody can put it here on chat, that would be good too. But Debbie, okay. Well, thank you so much, Myrna. Thank you again, Emilia. Myrna, what's new with you? How's school? Are you ready for Monday? Or no, you've started already. You started in July, didn't you?
Hi, Doc.
Yeah,
Doc.
hi. Oh, look at your hat. Hey, did you start in July already, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is we're on our third week, Doc.
Third
So
week now.
I'm in the car service area. I just have to go out.
Okay.
Oh God. Yes, ma'am. We are now on our third week.
Hmm.
Yes, our third week, and so far so good. And one thing we appreciate, I mean, we are grateful is that we're able to establish classroom routines with the students, and this year is a lot better than last year.
Yeah, what's so different? What did you do differently?
What's different is that this year is that we were the one who gives the norms to the students. They also, of course, we gave them the chance also to come up with the classroom rules, and then we agreed what do we agree on, what are we going to implement. So again, it's always a practice of being consistent with what we have established, and eventually we are getting there. And yeah, it's a lot better than last year.
Yeah. Did you post it? Like they should stay within 3 to 4 rules or 5 the max, because if you do so many, that's too much.
Oh yeah, yes, Doc. I have these rules, and I have the acronym of pencils because the theme of my classroom is a pencil. Because I told my students that this year we are writing a new story, so we are opening a new page, a new chapter. So I had that, of course, with the help of ChatGPT. I had this classroom. Yes, I had this classroom rules. It's short, of course. The students have no patience to listen to those, you know.
Donations. Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Short and concise.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You can make it a game where you show them that and then have them to come up as a group and come up with a role play and then have them to guess which of the rules do you think they're playing.
Oh
You
yeah,
can have that. So
yes.
you can do something like that.
Yeah, Doc. During our orientation, we had this role play. I had this on a strips of paper, different scenario in the classroom, and
Mhm.
they will say thumbs up if it shows respect, and
Mm.
if it is not, if it is a disrespect, they thumbs down. And students were asked to come up with a solution. How are we going to correct this scenario, this behavior?
Perfect. I love that.
Yes,
Love that.
yes, they had it. And
Yeah.
for the past weeks, we were more on hands-on activities in the class. I am just doing maybe 5 to 10 minutes maximum of direct instruction, and all the rest is students' work.
Nice. So
So
you
it's
there's
yes,
a science lab. Do you have a science? Are you in a science lab classroom?
no, Doc. I am because Miss Curly and I are rooming beside each other. So my room is really an ordinary classroom, but across my classroom is my stack room, the lab room.
Mhm.
So I will just grab my stuff from there. I prepare, and it's a spacious. I have a spacious classroom, so it won't really be hard for me to transfer or to have this during the transition. I can easily shift from one set of materials to another.
Good. Yeah.
And one
Good.
thing I even told to the district or the school that we have lots of unused science materials, Doc. I
Mm.
tried to scavenge. I opened those cabinets in the opposite room, and I found, my God, last year I spent from my pocket. And now, oh my God, each student can have their own materials during the experiment.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes,
Are you
yes.
organizing them in bins? Organizing them in bins for each
Yeah,
student?
yeah, yes, Doc. Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good to do that and number
And
them.
then yes, and I'm trying. I hope I can do it. Do the laboratory inventory. At least we would know what we need, what we have, and what else do we need.
Yeah.
So that will somehow help the school to, come up with a very practical budget.
Yeah, you have that's something that you can do your gifted kids when they get done first. That's one thing that you could do is start an Excel file for them with the categories already and then
Mhm.
just have them to fill it out
Yeah,
like that because they can always use the Google app where you know take a picture of it and it will give you what it is if it's not labeled. But anyway, that would be something that you could have your gifted kids do. You
yes,
know,
yes,
something that they can do extra. I always give my kids extra reward if they do extra stuff like that for me. So that
yes,
could be a job. I did that with Maria's classroom where she wanted an inventory of her books. So I started that, you know, little um Excel for students. So when they were done, they were putting the title of the book, you know, ABC order format, and then the author and what genre and you know whatever you put in there. So whatever categories, and they just fill it out, and they love it because they have something to do whenever they're done.
yes. And one thing that I think you also discussed it before. Uh, I started my students in doing their CER, the claim evidence, and the reasoning.
Oh, mm,
Yes,
very
we have
good.
that. Yes, ma'am, Doc. We have that. So the students are now starting to come up. How do we do the claim? Yes. How do we do the evidence, and how do we do the reasoning?
Very good. Yeah. So you're actually doing your argumentative, you're helping the
Yeah.
literacy teachers with their argumentative writing,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is really good. Yeah, it goes right well with science. Very well. Yeah. Very good. I like that. And so do you do how, because in Arkansas, you're required as a science teacher to do at least one experiment a week. Are you able to meet that? You do four? Really? Oh, you're slave driving yourself.
No,
I
no, but
that's
I
so
am,
much.
because when my students, when they enter the classroom, they will look the moment they enter the classroom, they look to the left, to the right, because I know it's where I stack my materials. And when they don't see anything, oh, Miss Mina, we don't have experiment today. Yeah, we do have. I said, don't worry, we do have. It's just that I have this small stuff in here.
So
They
you
will.
do like a little demonstration or some kind of introduction thing. Yeah.
Yes,
Good idea for science teachers. Yeah.
yes. We are
Yeah.
using, because in our school now, each student has their own Chromebook, so they do the virtual simulation, the actual.
Mhm.
Uh,
That's
the,
very good.
for my grade 8, because they started with the actual experiment. Then last Thursday and Friday they have the virtual simulation, and Monday they're going to graph the data they gathered.
Nice, very good. And if you have them also like videotape themselves, like if you have somebody that's really good at videotaping and do that and then show it to them later on Fridays, they love it. Because I was a science teacher for 9th, 6th, 7th, 9th grade. And so any activities we had, I always have somebody that loved the video. So they or we just put the setup in the corner. So it will say, and then they want to watch it on Friday. So then when I pop popcorn, we had popcorns there, and then that's one of the rewards. So if they were misbehaving, whatever, they could not watch the video on Friday, their own experiments and things. So that's an incentive I did, and it worked really well because yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the suggestion, Doc. I will do that. I'll try.
Because they want to watch themselves. They love watching themselves. You
So,
do that with
do I ask permission from them first when I do the video?
always. Always.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Everybody, yeah, the school already sends, I don't know if your school, but the school I had worked in, they already had a school permission slip for the videotaping. So you need to find out from your secretary, whoever keeps up with that, and see if there's any kid there that did not turn it in or did not want to be videotaped, because there might be some kids in the witness protection program where they cannot be. So you make them the camera people. They will be, so if they say the parents know they cannot be videoed, make them the camera folks. That's your camera staff. Yeah. So just make sure. I would, if your school does not have a district form for videotaping, make up one. There should be some online, or you can have ChatGPT to do it. The important thing is just that the cover, the school year, and then the name and so on. Yeah. And the parents would like to know, is it gonna be posted on Facebook, or is it gonna be in a safe thing just within the school? So you need to specify that, because some parents are paranoid about social media and the kids. So sometimes they might say no, but if you say it's just going to be in the classroom, it's just our students, and then they're going to be okay with it. They just did not want it on the social media. But there's also a Facebook for teachers that you can actually do, like just private one that you can just do your students and the parents, you can do something like that. Okay.
Yes.
So just a suggestion. Yeah.
Yes. And I will update you, Doc.
Yeah. So you're having a good school year. I need to go visit your place there. I would love to.
Please come. You didn't get the chance yet.
Yeah, I know. I want to see your home too. But anyway, so your principals are the same, the husband-wife team?
Yes, Mr. and Miss Branch.
Yeah. Well, encourage them to invite me. I would love to, because I'm gonna be in Brinkley this year, monthly. Once a month, I'll be in Brinkley.
So please have time to visit us here.
So I go on a Wednesday, and then so I can always visit on a Wednesday the day before I go to Brinkley. So I can leave early from my home, and then that way I can be there in the afternoon and before going to the hotel. So maybe we'll stay with you some days.
Yeah. We are now in Memphis. We're having our car service, and I saw the casino. I saw is that the place where Dr. Marlene invited us? He said yes.
Yeah, they had good buffet, don't they? I invited you guys to the buffet. Yeah, they have really good buffet. The other day, one day we went to the seafood one. Really good crabs. Yeah. So so do that. We'll do that, because you enjoyed that, didn't you? I've done it twice where you came over. Yeah. Yeah. So I will invite different folks there to kind of eat with me. Yeah. Debbie, I wish you were closer. We'll invite you too. Yeah, nice talking to you, Mirna. All right, so Mike, you have come with
yes,
Rob before. Yeah.
Doc, one more thing is want to share about here in the USA is I'm so excited that my 10th grade daughter will take her advanced classes for college.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
They will when they graduate high school here in Arkansas, most schools will have their first 2 years of college already done. So they'll have their associate degree done.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
She's only 10th grade, but she's allowed to take to advance
I
some
mean,
of
she's
the
smart.
subjects.
She can get the AP classes. Yeah. Very good, Mike. I'm proud of you and Mabel.
Yes, po.
Nice.
And she's really excited, and most of the subjects will be taken online.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. So she will end up with that will save you as parents on the tuition, because she will get most of her basics done. So for whatever 4-year course that she has, she will only need a couple of years, sometimes 2.5, whatever. But most of her basics she may be able to do if she's starting that early. Did she already took her ACT?
Not yet, po, Doc.
They usually do it in ninth grade, so she didn't take it in ninth, huh?
Did you take your ACT, Kim? No. The ACT exam? No. Yeah. No po.
Yeah. See, most schools, they will do it in ninth, but some schools will do it in 10th or 11th. 11th is the most common one. Yeah.
Okay. Yes po.
So when do you have a goal of your if they can get Mike 30 and above on ACT scores, the average in Arkansas is 21. But if you get 30, then they have pretty much free ride in college. So most universities would have them to come for free if they have 30 and above. My kids have 35 out of 36. So then the schools will teach you. Yeah.
And then Doc, I will show you. I know you're familiar with her,
Who?
Miss Tasha.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. How you doing?
I'm good. So you're working in the classroom today, huh?
No. So what we doing?
Yes, Doc. We're here. She's invited us for the free distribution of food for
Ooh.
free.
That's
Yes,
so
po.
nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Is this part of the school or part of the church?
No po. Yeah, their church.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
they're
Okay.
very generous with the Filipino teachers, and I'm waiting for other Filipino teachers to come here. They
Oh
said
my
they are on their
God.
way now. Yes, po.
That is
And then
so
after
nice.
this, we're going to the Freeman here in Helena community, where they're going to distribute free school supplies.
Oh, wow. Hey, Mike, you need to cook them some adobo or something, the main distributor to thank them.
Yes, po. And
Let them taste our
we're
food.
excited to invite her because
Yeah.
she really wants to have some of the Filipino water.
Yeah, when you have parties, you need to invite the organizers. I think they would love that. They would love our food. Yeah. That's very nice.
Yes, po.
They're
Yes,
that
po.
active. So are they only giving it to Filipino teachers or all the teachers?
Not all, not po.
The whole community.
The whole community.
Community. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yes,
But that's
po.
nice that Filipino teachers are coming in to be involved. That's
Yeah,
cool.
this is twice a month. Same
Are you
as the
serious?
schedule of our Zoom. That's why sometimes I leave every time we have a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's good that, anytime that teachers, if you're involved in the community, that's always a good thing. In fact, that is part of your standard professionalism, which is involvement in the community with parents and, extracurricular. Those are, you're part of a PLC and all those are that's part of your standards as teachers that you need to be involved. So that's good that you are involved in the community. Yeah. So,
Yes.
I think your students love to see the teachers attending their games, attending their, some of them, they have baptism, and I've attended baptism before of students, and, even court, like adoption. I have attended adoption ceremony, before, where they invited you to come because they're so excited about it, and I've come. So any time that the students have big events in their lives and they invite you, try to make time for that because they'll always remember that. They would say things later when they're going to, I remembered when you attended my court hearing when I finally got adopted and all that. They'll remember who was there. So anytime that means a lot when the students are inviting you as a teacher to attend some important events in their lives. That's already a compliment that they must have really thought a lot of you and they have bonded with you because they would not just invite anybody that they don't like. So they must have liked you. So take that as a compliment and try to do it. Take the time. I know we have
Roxy,
yeah.
say hello to Sir
Hello,
Edwin.
hi. How are
How
you?
you?
Hey, I have missed you on our Zoom. You have not attended.
So do we, Doc. We missed you.
Yeah, missed you too. Your daughter's getting so
Yeah,
big.
she's right here.
Yeah.
Say
What
so.
grade are you now? Are you in kindergarten?
No, ma'am. I'm still teaching 4th grade.
Yeah, but your daughter's in kindergarten, right?
Yeah, she's in kindergarten already.
Right.
Say
Yeah,
hi.
that's what I thought. You were so cute. You're so cute. Is she used to America now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking English really well now.
Censoring.
Yeah, you're speaking English really well. Tell me about your name.
Karina. Karina.
Karina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know how to spell that?
Can you spell your name?
Karena.
Very good. You're smart. I can tell you're gonna be a smart kid. So Edwin, have you worked on colors and sounds and all that stuff with her? All the
Yes,
things?
ma'am.
Okay.
That's what we're doing right now.
Good. Yeah, you do that. My kids
Mm.
were reading at 3 years old because I worked with them. My husband
Oh,
said,
that's
you never
good.
quit.
Good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
try.
actually, the foundation of reading that we took, it's
Yeah.
really helpful.
Yeah. Teach them with the kids, right? You
Yes.
use the practice with your student, with your kid,
Yeah,
with your
yeah,
own
yeah.
kids. Yeah. So you're still fourth grade. You're still the same, but your brother is now in high school, right? Teaching high
Yeah,
school.
he's in high school right now.
And your wife is?
My wife's in fifth grade right now.
Ah, okay. Does he like, he goes back to fifth grade again?
Yes, I don't know. I'm talking about my wife.
Oh, your
Yes,
wife
ma'am.
got a job. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They love her.
They love her. Yeah, I'm sure they love you too,
Yeah,
both of them.
Doc, you need also to visit her Facebook. Her Facebook and her classroom decoration is really amazing
Really
too.
amazing. She's very creative too, like you, Mike. Mike always has a really prettiest
Yes.
Oh,
door and prettiest
Sir
class.
Edwin too. No,
But
Edwin
he's
too?
the master.
Edwin, you need to
He's
post it
our
on
master
Insta.
right here.
I guess I need to invite teachers to post their classroom pictures when I get done. I need to invite everybody to post their classroom
Yes, I
pictures.
will take some pictures of our classroom and share it to you.
That would be cool. Yeah, put it on Facebook because I think
Yes,
everybody
ma'am.
can get ideas,
We
especially if
will.
different sections in the classroom. Mike always has different bulletin board, different sections in his classroom, and I think that's really
Right.
good to have that. Yeah, your classroom, Edwin, was always organized and nice.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. I tried to.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why, Doc, some of the teachers, especially the local teachers, are already pressured.
Well, I'm sure you don't mean that, but they just maybe put that on themselves. But
Uh,
yeah, you have
uh,
really good teachers where you teach, though. I think your local and Filipino teachers or the international teachers, you're good there. You have yeah, you
yeah,
have very
okay.
good. I think you have a very good bonding with everybody.
Good morning.
Yes,
Cool. Okay, Mike, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome that they do that in your community. That more communities should do
mhm.
something like that, right?
Yes, ma'am. And then hopefully, once we're done here, we go to the pre-man playground, and then if we're still on the Zoom, I will share to you those people. We know them. Just if you remember, Mr. Who's this? Mr. Smith,
Oh yeah,
Drew Smith,
Kevin.
Drew Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're still on the Zoom meeting once we are there.
I want to know about the KIP. Have they? How many teachers have they hired?
I think one special education here in Helena and one in Blight.
Have they already started the papers, the paperwork?
Yes po. Yes po. They already started, and then they're still on their process for the visa interview scheduling.
Okay, good. They're that far.
And I don't want to mention those. Who are they?
You want to mention or not mention?
I will not mention them
Okay,
yet.
that's
Doc.
okay. But they were from our group, though, Mike. Mike, they were from our group. I think
Yes po,
one
Doc.
of them emailed me.
Yes.
One of them emailed me and said that
Yeah, one male and one female. One will be in Helena and one will be in Blight.
I think the male contacted me and said I got a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
anyway, yeah. So it's their news to say, not ours. So yeah, I agree. Just like your friends.
And one, yes po, and one will be in our school. You remember, and probably she's here, and I will not spill it yet.
Let her mention. Let her mention it. Okay, cool.
Yes po, yes po,
Well,
yes
thank
po.
you, Mike. Yeah. Hi, Giselle. Giselle, how are you, girl? Giselle, I've missed talking to you, Giselle. Is Giselle here?
Hi, Doc.
Hi, dog.
Hi, Doc. Good morning.
Did I hear that you'd lost somebody? You had lost somebody? Did I hear that?
Yes, Doc. It was my father, Doc.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I did not know when was
Yeah,
his passing?
that was July 25, Doc.
So
That's why I
sorry.
was not able to join the
Yeah.
Zoom meeting for twice because he was hospitalized, and we just bring him home because the doctor says it will be just a few weeks.
No, I'm
And
so sorry.
then last July 25 he passed, Doc.
Was it
So
cancer?
yeah, it's very
Was it cancer?
yes, Doc. Yes, it was.
Cancer in
It
what?
was carcinoma. It's liver cancer, Doc, and it started. It's just 2 months.
Oh
Him
wow.
battling the cancer. He was stage 3. Then after a month,
That
it's
was
stage
fast,
4
wasn't
already.
it? That was fast.
Yes, it was, Doc. It was
Yeah.
very fast.
But that's the thing.
And
Whenever stage 3, that's already in the main organs. So
yes, Doc.
stage 4 is very close. Yeah, so sorry to hear that. My dad, my husband, my mom's husband, my stepdad died of lung cancer. So, but he was a fireman. So yeah, so sorry to hear that. And how's your mama doing? She okay?
Not that much, doc, but she's strong.
Yeah.
She's
Somebody
making
staying
it.
with her? Somebody staying with her though? She's not alone?
Yeah, my sister's with her and my brother and me also, doc. My family is with her.
Good.
We are sleeping in their house. Though nasa likod lang kami ng bahay nila, doc.
Oh,
So
okay. So
it's
you're
not
just
that far.
you're in
Yeah.
the back. Well, because I remember my mom when she lost dad. Oh my gosh, she was so depressed, and she nothing made her happy at all. Just really feel so. I mean, we were all feeling bad, but mom was just lost, and so I could understand that that's really, really, really rough. So she needs company right now because they said the hardest part when losing somebody is after everybody has left, when you're alone by yourself in the
Yes,
house.
doc.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you just live right behind her. So that's cool.
Yes, doc.
Yeah. Yeah. And please tell her that I send my condolences. Okay. So sorry to hear
Yes,
that.
doc. Thank you so much. Yes,
Well,
and I'm very happy, doc, because my families and friends were with us during those very difficult times. They never left us. And though Abby and Leslie and Girlie was not with us, they sent us help
yeah.
financially,
Yeah.
so to ease our burden, doc.
That's very
Yeah.
nice of them to do that. 40 days. When is your 40 days prayer?
Doc, we are Seventh-day Adventist and we don't have
Oh, you
those
don't do
40
that.
days.
Got
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a Catholic thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
Yes,
so
doc.
nice that your cousins helped you. Cool.
Yes,
Very
doc.
nice.
Everyone is the church members. We're just very much thankful, doc, because they help us. We don't have burden financially because people are there to help us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It
our
always
friend
helps.
and family.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have so many abroad now. You have the whole family of Leslie here.
Yeah.
Plus
Yes, and
Abby.
some of my cousins, doc, are also in California,
See,
and
you
my
got
brother-in-law. Yeah,
yeah,
in
four
in
here and in
so
California. So you have at least 7 people there helping you, sending
yes,
dollars.
doc.
That should be good help. Yeah, good job. I'm so glad that they're doing that. Yeah. So anyway, I wasn't sure because I have not been able to follow people's Facebooks. I've been so busy with company. Stephanie just left, in fact. And so when I have company, I usually like I have my phone. I would check it like when in between, things. But a lot of times I want to be fully present. So I try not to, unless they go to bed already, then I would do like in the morning or at night, late at night, I would do things. But during the day, I'm never checking it if I have company. So that's when I'm so behind. Like I didn't answer anything because I have company. And Stephanie was here for 2 weeks. So that's, yeah. So I try to keep up with because my email gets so full. So I try to keep up with it when everybody like they have that guest house next door. So they would go next door. I'm like, okay, now I can I can check my emails and things so that I could delete so many spams, right? So anyway, well, please hug your mom for me, okay? Yeah, that's
Yes, doc. Thank you.
yeah. So anything, I guess the um applying for jobs would be just the last in your mind, I'm sure. So um you have any interviews before that, or what was your last interview at?
No, I don't have. There was that school who contacted me, but um, you know, d- during my father's battle, parang nawala sa doc, and my mother asked me to stop muna
Yeah,
because
understand
you
that.
know, yeah, she wanted me to be here, and my sister is her husband's what you call that petition was already um granted, so maybe my sister would be going to California, so yun parang
You're the only
hindi
one
pa
left?
kaya ng mama ko.
Yeah.
No, we are six, doc, but
Oh, okay.
we have three girls, but parang our mother was na parang complete kasi kami all the time with our father, and tapos yun my father was gone, so parang nahihirapan siya, so she was asking me if I'm going to stay muna, so I said I'm not going to apply, but if there are schools that I have been applying that would contact me, then I'm going to accept that. But
Right.
I'm not going to apply as of the moment.
Yeah. Well, you have to honor what she asked, yeah. But she you might be one of her favorite daughters. Since you're so
Mhm.
close to her there, in location. So you're the closest to her possibly, huh? So anyway, so yeah, this is so hard, Giselle. I know that's my dad, our dad, so I lost my dad and my stepdad, right? But yeah, they're both hard to do, despite how mean my dad was, biological. But when he was gone, it's a big loss. It's like part of your heart just got taken out. That's kind of what you feel. Here in Salem, we've got so many people that are dying my younger than me. We just attended a funeral the other day, and she was 3 years younger than me. And it was cancer too. So I think cancer is really everywhere. And when she was like, I can't believe I remembered her, and she's gone now. So yeah, and then we see these people, Salem is a small place, right? And so you see folks that it seems like you only see them during funerals. And everybody's like looking so different. I'm like, is that so and so? I've not seen her for 30 years. But you still recognize that that's kind of who this person is. But they got older. And I said, so I must have gotten older to them too. And you see your former students, and I give you a hug. And last night I went to dollar store, and he said, Miss McCullough, you remember me, right? I was one of your fourth grade students. And I said, I look at the face, and this boy is like, 6 footer. And he said, and he's got this beard. Of course, you're not going to remember a fourth grader with this beard, right? I said, the face looks so familiar. But I said, oh, you have to forgive me. Tell me, give me a hint. And he would just, finally I figured, I said, oh, it's Wes. Yeah, I remember you now. That's so funny because every time they do that, I'm like, I remember the first day of school where they were sitting. Like you were in the front row. But anyway, yeah. But then here they are with this really, tall person. But yeah, that's a special, people. We have to remember how special folks are, and they really do have a place in our heart. So yeah, losing a dad, that's rough. Now you are in Talisay. You're in Talisay. Are you in
Yes,
Talisay?
Doc.
Yeah, you're Talisay. So we actually pass by your place every time we go to Karkar, right? Is that true? Yes, right.
Doc.
Yeah.
Yes, Doc.
And are you by the road right there, like where there's always like a bunch of beach places there, like with Talisay, right? Talisay and Liluan. I always
Yes,
remember.
Doc. But yeah, but we were located in a mountain barangay, Doc,
Oh, okay.
going to Toledo City. Yes, so we are not close to the sea,
You see, okay.
so we're not close to the beaches. But
Okay.
Alisa now, Doc, has no more beautiful beaches. Parang
Really?
marami na kasing Yes, it's not there.
Crowded.
It's not really
Really?
that good. So we have to go south or north
Ah,
to
so where
beautiful
do you
beaches.
go?
Yes.
What do you go to Sibunga? Where do you go?
Sometimes yes, that would be Sibunga onward. To sometimes we go to Oslo, or maybe yeah, Malboal, something there,
Oh, okay. So those are
because
better.
yes they have, yeah, yes, though,
Yeah. Where isn't Oslo where the whale watching was?
yes, it's
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So that's weird that I grew up and it was around 1970s, because I was born in 1968. 1970s, and we always went to Talisay or Liloan. That's
Yes,
when I
yes,
hear
those were the,
yeah.
yeah, but now we don't have beautiful beaches because
Oh,
there are people living there and it's not
sad.
that
Oh, that's so sad because I
too sad.
remember those days.
Yes,
Yeah, I remember those days with those little huts things by the ocean, that you rent for the day and you go, yeah.
yes,
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm so sorry about the loss, and I know it's gonna be it's been 12 years for dad, and mom still very sad, and she would say something about, I still feel his presence. One day, Giselle, we were putting Christmas tree up, and the three sisters were there plus mom, so there were four of us, and all of a sudden, everybody just smelled this candle smell. And I'm like, you smell that? And they're like, yeah, you smell that? All four of us smell. And I'm thinking, dad always like was so happy when we were together, with mom, the three sisters plus mom. And we could just imagine what he would be saying. He would always crack a joke, like, oh my God, your favorite daughters or whatever. Especially when my sister, from Australia came. The four sisters were here. And he cried. He was so touched that here we are, all of Mama's four girls were here. So yeah, you always have to feel that presence. And we thought it was Mama imagining it. And it was, we really felt it that day, that we smelled this candle, this candle and his smell, like we can feel like that he's in the room. And yeah, I'm sure you will experience something like that. Yeah. So, what is the difference with Sabadista and Catholic? What other things do you not do? You don't do 40-day prayer. What do you do, the 9-day thing where you play games in the
No, no,
yard?
no.
You don't do that either.
No, we have services every night, but we don't have the 9 days. We don't have the 40 days. Just after the burial, that it's done.
That's it. Okay. I
We
think,
would go to the cemetery. Yes,
yeah.
we go to the cemetery to visit our loved ones, but not the way the Catholics do.
Catholic, oh my gosh, I remembered, when I was a child, like, oh, somebody died. We were like happy because we could play in the yard for 9 days straight at night. And our parents would let us because somebody died. And it's
Yeah.
almost like, yeah, you're sad that somebody died, but then we were got to play with our cousins, because
Yes.
otherwise dad would not let us, at night. So anyway, so yeah, those are Catholic traditions. And I don't know if it's in all over the world like that, or if it's a Filipino thing. But I did not even realize that Sabadista, your other, what is that in English? Your church?
It's a Seventh Day Adventist look.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
Seventh Day Adventist.
Seventh Day Adventist is here in the US. So I did not know the difference. I just remembered when I had students from the Seventh Day, they do not celebrate like some of the holidays,
Yes.
right? That they do
Yes.
not celebrate the St. Patrick's and other things that we do in March, and some other things that we do. And so I understood that, and the parents told me that. So I would always like, so what do you want me to do with your student? Do you want to pick up? Because we're going to have a party like the last period. And so I said, what do you want to do with your, you feel free to pick them up, or I could always send him to the counselor or whatever place that he wants to go, his favorite, teacher, PE teacher, whatever. I could always send your child there. What do you prefer? So I always ask the parents that, because sometimes they said, I will just pick him up or pick her up early. And in that way, she would not feel like left out. Like they don't believe, I think birthday, is that right? Birthday party?
No, we have
Yeah,
birthday
birthday
party dogs, but we don't do Halloweens.
Halloween,
We
that's
don't
it,
do
sure.
undas. We don't have undas.
Yeah, Halloween, because we always had a big Halloween party with costumes. And I always try to respect that, that I know some of our classmates do not believe in that. And so, depending on the principal, like at that time, the principal really did not want them to come with costumes because it's distracting to others. And it's also not fair to students like, the Seventh-day Adventists where they don't believe. So they feel left out. So, and some principals in other schools would say, okay, you can bring your costume and you can change into it like last period, and then the kids that are not celebrating have been picked up. And so Valentine's Day, we would give like presents to parents would send presents. Do you do Valentine's Day?
Um, not not really, doc. But since I am a teacher, I do that in the classroom because most of my pupils are, believe in
Celebrating.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here in the US, and this is what it's maybe different. In the US, because it's so distracting that day, so many deliveries of flowers. So what organized schools would do is they would have a designated room, like for example, the PE room, whatever they're not the kids are in PE outside. So they would or somewhere else, they would make that a room and they would designate the areas there, there's so many classrooms, whatever. And then they would have these high school kids help and deliver them at the very last period during the party. They do not just deliver it during the day. And see what I did as a teacher then, and this is something that's a hint for Filipino teachers. There's I was friends with the flower shop, people, and so they were always giving me like, Marlena, you can get a Coke and a balloon, just a balloon that's popped already, and then for $1. So I had 20 kids, for example. I spent $20 on my own money, but everybody in my classroom has something because I felt so bad when you have a child with money that would have 3 or 4 things, big stuffed animals, whatever, that their parents or aunts or whatever would send them, and our poor kids do not get anything. And I felt so bad with those kids that are left out. So everybody in my classroom coming out would have the balloon that I got for them. So they felt so special because they have something. that are not going and be out there without anything while everybody else has a handful in their hands. And that's the thing that really bothered me before I thought about, giving it myself, because I felt so bad for the students that are, don't have anything. And so I was guilty too, to give like my nieces and whatever, I would send them things to their schools, and all this. So I was one of the guilty aunts that would, or parents that would send it to my kids, because I don't want my own kid or nieces or nephews to be feeling left out, and all that. So that's something here in the US that we had to deal with. How about there? What do you do there? How do you do your Valentine's party there, for example?
So usually, Doc, here in my classroom or usually in our school, students would just do cards for their parents.
Hmm.
The kids doesn't receive anything from the parents. So it's the kids, or we teachers would always tell our students to, you have to make this for your parents, because our kids are not very much para bang di sila sanay with the I love you things with the parents. So yes, it's the teachers that we would like to tell them. We would tell them all the time that you have to do this. So we are the ones encouraging our students to make something, give something for their parents on Valentine's Day, Doc.
You do that. So we had my sister always did projects with her students. She provides the materials and she would have them do a project like picture frame, for example, and all that. And then she would have them, do it for the parents and then give it to them, and she would provide a little bag for the presents, so that they come home with this present already. But then every child usually also have a box, like a Valentine box that they decorate with a little hole on top, parang it's like a piggy bank, and they put the cards there that people would give them. And then they would also distribute cards to everybody, and all this. So they have this, or candies. And that's what they do here. And some teachers that are creative, they would have a Valentine box contest. Who's the prettiest? What's the prettiest? And everybody votes on it. But the problem with that is it's almost like it's a contest between parents, because parents are doing it. They have parents do the pearls and all these things, they're really fancy craft things. And I feel bad for the kids that don't have parents that would do that for them. So it's almost like, so I quit doing it. At first I was doing it in my classroom, but then when I saw that it's almost like a contest with parents and money, so I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, because that's more pressure for these kids. Are like, oh, my parents cannot afford it. We can't do that. And so any opportunities like that where the others are being able to show off because they have money, I try to avoid those. I try to even them out, by maybe providing it myself, so that way they don't have to come up with it. Yeah. So that's the difference too, looking at the difference between how cultures do it, right?
Okay.
Anyway,
Doc, I'm here na po sa distribution po ng loop. How the
oh wow, that's a
line.
lot of people. Oh my gosh, Mike, I didn't
Yeah.
realize it's that many people.
And I have here Mr. Drew. If you want to talk to Mr. Drew, Drew's mate.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Drew.
Hey,
Yeah.
how are you
Hey.
doing?
I am here with Doc Marlena. She's
Hello,
at the Zoom
how are
meeting.
you?
Marlena. Doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm
She's
good.
having the Zoom meeting for the teachers applicant here in the USA. And I mentioned to her that you're having the free distribution of school supplies.
Yeah.
And we want to share that information with other Filipino teachers. And even we have teachers in Africa.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we share.
That's amazing. Oh yeah.
Amelia, yeah.
We have a
Nice
lot
to
of
meet you.
really good people here that are doing free backpack supplies
Oh,
or
nice.
supplies and free backpacks. And so this is a playground. And the people that created the playground, that built the playground, are doing this backpack drive. And then
Wow.
there's one that's happening at Walmart right now with the fire department. And there's one that happened last weekend at the Boys and Girls Club.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then the schools do it too.
Yeah.
And so everybody's really working together for the youth right now.
I'm so proud of that though, because you don't want kids come in with no supplies and feel bad about it, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So good
Yeah,
job.
we're trying.
Thank you for all that you do for the community. That is so cool.
Oh, thank you. There are a lot of people doing it. It's
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm
I'm
so
just a
glad.
volunteer, but there are a lot of good people doing it.
Yeah, we
That's
don't.
good.
Yeah, we don't. We do this in Arkansas and other places in America, but we don't do this in the Philippines. So we don't. They
Yeah.
don't have that. So that's why some of the teachers here are saying maybe we should organize one so we could, so teachers here could sponsor there,
Yeah.
like something because it's so cheap there. Our money is
Yeah.
55 pesos. For
Wow.
$1, so you
Yeah.
can buy a hamburger with less than $1.
Wow. Okay, I need to go to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Ask Mike; he'll take you.
Thank you for getting so many great teachers over here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we do have great teachers there in the Delta. Yeah, I'm so glad
Yeah.
because they love it there. I mean, they
Yeah.
are being accepted by the community really well. So they love it there. So you're keeping them. That's good. And you're supporting them.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, well, it's mutual.
That's good. I know we're losing one after this year. I think her
Oh.
visa's up. One of our teachers at Central is going to be leaving after this year, so that's going to be sad.
Oh, so where's she going to?
I think they're fifth year.
Yeah,
They're fifth year.
They're fifth
Going
year,
back
so
home. Oh my
they're going back
God.
home. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Who is
Yeah.
it? Who is the fifth one? Is that
Annalisa
Annalisa.
Mercado and Ernesto Montenegro.
Yeah,
And
think
one in elementary, Miss Tocabo.
Cabo. Yeah, I remember that. How about Marie Chris? Marie Chris staying?
I think she's waiting for the waiver because of her son.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope she gets that waiver. I know there was 5 of them, the very first group that I got, and they were staying in this one big house. And I used to go there every week and visit them. Yeah, yeah, that was
And I
so
think if our teacher applicant who are hired in KIP Delta, I just want you to know, Mr. Drew Smith is Mr. Kevin Smith son.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have leadership at
cool.
Helena, West Helena too. So
Yeah, you did good picking the applicants. I always give it back to administrators who are doing the interview and the staff because you have so much selections, to make.
Yeah.
If you pick the right people,
Yeah.
based on their answers, I think you end up with good teachers. You can read them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much their answers, how kind they are and how caring they are,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, when they have growth mindset.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job getting us good candidates. So
Oh,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much for all that you do, okay?
Thank you as
Nice
well.
talking to you. Okay, bye-bye.
Yes, what
Yeah.
up? Thank you, Kevin.
Mike,
Thank
yeah,
you,
thank you,
Kevin.
Mike. Yeah. Mike, you are doing a good job of being so active in the community.
I can be a reporter now, though.
Well, Mike, do you know that you're being seen as one of the leaders there in the Filipino community? Now, that's cool that you play that role, and you are so connected and you are so bonded there. When you have these events and you go to these field trips together, that makes me happy. I felt like a very proud parent. Like, look at this, they just like expand and go everywhere. The hot air balloon, I was so jealous because that was so cool. And you did camping. Mike, you're so good at putting the camp tents together. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So what is your what other things that are coming up? The backpack thing that's gonna come up. I
No
think
cell phone po. The no cell phone policy.
oh, no cell phone. Yes.
Yeah.
You have a little container. Where do you put the cell phone? Do they put in their lockers or just
I
not bring
think it will be zero cell phone already. They are not allowed to bring. I'm not sure about that idea because in Brinkley po, we have a pouch before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're not using the pouch?
I don't know about that po. And then one of the new rules here in Central High School, I think, based on what I've heard, is as you can see po dito, some of the backpacks are already transparent.
Yep, they bought.
Yeah po, I'll just show it to you. The backpacks that they're distributing are all transparent.
Yeah, I noticed that I think I read it on
Yes
the
po.
news that they were giving that to
Yes,
students for free.
Yes po.
Yeah.
So those are the backpacks. Are almost complete. Complete school supplies.
Yeah.
Hey, it's going on. Yeah, po. I'm with the Zoom meeting of the Doc Merlina. She's a former administrator here in the USA, and the attendees are all Filipino teachers who want to apply here in the USA, and we're sharing the cultures here because mostly majority of the Filipino teachers members here are here in Helena, West Helena, Central School District, and Jayapo.
Don't forget Emilia and others from Africa. Yeah.
Faith Outreach Church. We got most of the teachers from Filipinos at our church, so come see us.
Yay, good job. Thank you for your support
Hey,
for
guys.
them. Thank you, guys.
How are y'all
Thank
doing?
you.
God bless you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate your help. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's so cool. That's a big turnout, Mike. You always have that big of a turnout? That is a
Yeah, so
lot.
surprises ko.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, see.
Yeah. Oh my, I love the colors too that they have chosen. It's not boring.
That's
Oh,
all.
the kids are proud of it.
Yes, po.
Nice. Yeah.
See, nice. And then they keep on distributing everything for free.
Nice. Are they also feeding them, Mike? Are they feeding them hot dogs?
Mhm.
Yeah, she helping me out with the
Well,
Ah, okay.
really
Well,
nice po.
lots
Yeah.
of turnout. Yeah. And you said that they do this every year or every twice a year?
Yes po. Every year they are doing this. They are doing this.
Wow. Well,
Mhm.
you need to make sure that you donate. If there is an opportunity to donate, you also donate, teachers, I think.
Yeah.
Always
Actually,
try.
we want to volunteer also some during their activities
Yeah.
as a payback for dun sa to those things that they're doing for the Filipino community here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
they're very
idea
nice with
to be
the
involved.
Filipino
Yeah.
teachers po.
Now, where is that, Mike? Do I know where that place is that you're lining up? Where is that at?
I think you remember the creepy house that is.
The what house? Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's close
Yes,
to that.
I'll show it to you. I don't know if you can see it. See, that's it.
Oh, I see. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah po. It's
Okay.
near. Yeah.
Yeah, that. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to place where I've seen that because you still live there. No, you moved to Marvel, Mike. You already
Yes po.
moved
Yes po.
yeah. Okay. Well, that's nice that you are still in contact with the central teachers. Did they have a new administrator this year or no? They have
The same po, same administrators.
yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I hate that we are losing some of our first year teachers now to the fifth year deal. So
Yes po.
Maria is also fifth year this year. So
Yes po.
also going back, yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much. I don't know if there's anybody else because it's already been here 3 hours. We are, tired of the meeting.
Yeah,
But
yeah, Dopo. It's already 11:21 in the
I know.
Philippines.
But I see Wilson is here, and we have I see Wilson. I talked to Emilia and Debbie and Eduardo, and so that might be just Wilson. I don't know if Wilson wants to say hi to us, and then we're gonna stop the meeting. Mike, thanks again for being so active in that community. That is so awesome.
Yes, Doc. Thank you. Welcome po. Welcome.
Yeah. So Wilson, did you want to talk? Yeah, you put a heart. So go ahead.
Hello, Doc.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing
Sleepy
good.
already? Looks like you're sleepy already.
Actually, I'm reviewing something.
Oh, you're doing what?
I'm preparing for a possible interview in the future.
Nice. So from the US?
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Just in case.
What state is it?
No, I don't have an interview yet, Doc,
Just
but I'm still
prepare. Okay.
preparing.
Yeah, just make
Just to
sure
make
that
sure.
just make sure that
Yeah.
your background looks fine. Don't know if you can angle it away from the clothes possibly. Like do it on the wall maybe. And also your clothes, make sure that you wear something like you would wear in church, okay?
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not prepared.
No, you're fine. You're fine. With me, we're informal, but yeah, just remember that when you are being interviewed, you need to wear something that you would in church. Yeah, and I like that background you have now.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I always look at the background. So anyway, your house look nice. I love the little thing on the ceiling. That's what.
It's my room.
Huh? Nice. Yeah, very nice. I like that. Is that do you have an upstairs or is just on one level? Is that an upstairs?
No, it's just the ceiling, Doc.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, so good luck. If you get an interview, continue to send something
Doc.
because people are already preparing for next school year. People that are there's opening all year long because people are having babies, people are leaving in the middle of the year, they're moving, all those different opportunities. So there's not gonna, although the visa for this year will open up if they're gone in October 1. But teachers, I mean, schools are still interviewing so that when the visa is available, they're ready to go. Okay, so don't be
Yes,
thinking.
Doc. Thank you for
Yeah,
reminding me.
yeah. Just continue to do
See,
that.
as I was speaking earlier, I've learned a lot of classroom management technique from Sir Jeff.
Yeah, that's not that very, yeah, he's full of them. Yeah, lots of
Actually.
good ideas. Yeah, yeah, be creative in your classroom. Don't make them boring. The kids would be like, how was the school today? Boring. I would hate to hear that, It needs to be fun. It
Yeah.
be like, I don't want to miss school because I do not know what my teacher would be doing today. It's gonna be something fun. You want that instead of like, oh,
Yes, Doc.
I had to go to school today. You don't want that kind of reaction, right? You want that to be a fun one.
Yes.
Because later on, what I'm finding is kids that now my former students are now parents, and now they're telling their kids, "This is my favorite teacher." In her classroom, we did this, and I'm in front of their kids, and I'm like, "Oh, that is so cool that they remember the things that we did. We cooked, we did this, we did advertisement, we did weather reporting, we did this, So we sent some presents to the military, and all this for Christmas. We sang to the senior citizens in the senior center. We did all kinds of projects like that for others. And so, yeah, they will remember those things. They don't remember the worksheet that they missed. They will,
Yeah.
but it's the things that they experience and
Yes, Doc.
feel in your classroom. That's what they remember, right? Okay. Well, anyway, well,
That
thank you for showing up, and I will send everybody
because
a
I'm not
copy.
prepared, Doc. That's why I'm just wearing a sando.
Oh, you're fine.
I didn't expect that I'm gonna
You
speak
talk.
today.
Yeah,
I'm
anytime
just
that you,
listening a while
yeah,
ago.
it's okay. When you attend, you always be ready that you will speak because you could get called.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
I will take it uh, in 1 minute.
Yeah, you remember. I see mine. I'm like, so Mike was like, that Doc, are we doing a Zoom today? And like, did we not just had a Zoom last week? I said, no, Doc, it was 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, Mike, give me 5 minutes. Let me get ready.
Yeah, I
And
wasn't
so yeah,
able to attend the last two sessions.
2 weeks, yeah. So this is Zoom number 104. And so, can you believe it? And so, those that
Yeah.
are reviewing, those that are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, if you go back to Zoom 90 and above, they're really loaded with strategies. So, if you ever have to go back, you don't have to go back all the way back, but 90 and above seems like, because I've reviewed them lately because of some administrators wanting some recommendation of names. So I had to go back to 90 and above and saw a bunch of good people there sharing some things, and we were able to discuss all kinds of strategies. So 90 and above, okay? And guys, if you just like put it on YouTube and you don't have to watch it, just listen to it while you're doing something and let it go. Especially if you go to my playlist, because the playlist will have all the Zoom. So you can start it with that and then just keep doing it. That would really help us too. So if you can do that, that would help you and help us as a group. So anyway, okay. So just a suggestion, and if you have not been a member of ITSA, ITSA, International Teacher Support in America, our Facebook, make sure that you find it. If you do ITSA, ITSA, and my name, you will find both Facebook and YouTube, because we have so many videos. It's going to show up one of them. Okay. So
Hey,
any
Doc,
yeah.
sorry to
No,
cut
you're
you off,
fine. You're
but
fine.
I would like to share, if you have remembered Ma'am Verna Joy Omongos,
Yeah.
she's with us before. She's now in Arizona, Doc.
Yes.
She chatted me, I think that was 2 weeks ago. She's with a teacher in one of our schools here. She sent me the picture, but I forgot to tell her about the Zoom today. But I'm going to invite her the next Zoom.
Remind her for the next time, because she did email me that she's in Arizona now. So anyway,
Yes, Doc.
I am so happy when people tell me I am in this state now, but I always invite them, hey, come to our next Zoom, because well, it's fresh in their mind, like their experiences. I want them to share it, things that surprise them, things that like, oh, I know you all talk about this in Zoom, but now that I'm experiencing it, I didn't realize it was this, whatever. You don't really know the impact of it until you experience it. So it's surprising to them, so that's called culture shock. And it really is a true thing. It's really a thing. Culture shock is a thing. Ask Debbie. Debbie had gone to other countries and then went to California. Is it a thing, Debbie? Is a culture shock a thing?
It is, doctor. It is.
It is a thing, especially coming, and Emilia is going to be a thing for you too, because coming from another country, and especially
Yes,
in other countries as well, it's going to be a big
yes,
thing. And some
yes.
people, I swear, the first month you would like to go home. Like, what am I doing? Did I make a mistake? Am I, and a lot of times it's so funny they would call me and tell me this, and I'm like, So you want to go home. Do you not owe any money yet in the Philippines when you're like, oh yeah, I do owe. Well, remember that. It's going to be a reality check for you that if you leave now because you're frustrated, you're going to be left with a big debt in the Philippines that's going to take you years to pay. Well, it's going to just take months here while you do it now.
Yeah.
Plus, all the things that you could send your family. So then that's a reality check for them because really a bunch of them would just cry and be frustrated and all this because they take things personally. They think it's an attack on them when it's really the students. You have to train them like you do. They have to know you and the idiosyncrasies that you have, things you're expecting them to do and to meet, and how consistent you are to make sure that this is my expectation, this is what I always want to see. And of course, your
Yeah.
mom, they are learning so much, not from what you say, but from what you do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really what they're watching. They're watching what you do. So if you're going to be mean to the students, they're going to be mean to each other. I promise you that. So your classroom will be a negative classroom if you are mean to the students, because that's exactly how they're going to emulate, is that this is how
Yeah.
my teacher is talking to my peers. So this is how I'm going to talk to my peers. Okay, so that's what I always, I always felt like one thing that I always maintain in my classroom is a kind and caring classroom. This is a family, and as a family we care for each other. We do not gossip about our friends in the playground. We do not, so we support each other. I think if you do that, if you always say that to your students and show that to your students that you care, that's why our secretary would have a giant card that everybody signs when somebody's sick or somebody lost, somebody like Giselle did. Have a card there being, drawn by people and then signed by everybody that they take home with them. Notice all classmates sign this. They all care. They know our pain and all this, and they write this little note there, whatever. And a bunch of my students, they kept those things. They would say things like, remember the giant postcard, when my grandmother died? I still have it. It makes me so happy that I hear that. Remember the books that we have every quarter, we have a book that we wrote. All our writing are bound in a book 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have them. And now my kids are looking at it. It just makes me so happy as a teacher because this shows your heart. These are all your heart, the things that they said there. And the parents think they're so cute because all their mistakes, because I want them to put a sticky note of correction, but leave the original. Because I want the parents think that's so cute when they spell a word this way in fourth grade, but they have a sticky note or an index card they put in there for correction so that the parents will still see the original. Yeah. So anyway, so those things that all you do matter, and you are making a difference in the lives of kids. So even if you just make a difference in one child, it is worth it. Okay? It is worth it, and we are worth it, and thank you for all that you do. Okay? All right. So I will see you in 2 weeks, and this is so it's gonna be the 23rd. September the 23rd is no, August 23rd is our next meeting. And that would be our Zoom 105. This is 104. Okay. All right. So see you in the Facebook world or in the YouTube world. Okay. Bye-bye. Feel free to email.
See you.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye, Mike. Bye, Amelia. And, Giselle, Eduardo, and Wilson. We lost a few people. I think they.
Bye, everyone. Thank you,
Bye,
thank you,
guys.
thank you for
Mike,
attending.
thank
See
you
you
for
again.
sharing that
Yes,
community there,
ma'am.
Mike.
Thank you.
Good job,
See you
Mike.
again.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
dog. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.